It's looking to me like oh, now my fucking stream deck is frozen up. This has just been one giant Diablo after Diablo. About like YouTube love the glitch hop remix of the podcast though. Yeah. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, $50 a month I'm paying for this quality. $50 a month. These cucks. You think I'm By the way, this is what I do now there were no technical problems. This is just what I do to shake the fuzz. Well, at least now we know what it'll look like when Patrick moves to the Sudan. Well, yeah. It says having issues. It just popped up and said having issues. It's like, yeah, man. Yeah. Your whole platform is super sus. And even the I don't know if the comments, the whole point of this is multi-platform, all the comments from all the platforms come into one place. I can see them, put them up on the screen. But if this is the quality we're going to get, then it's not really worth it, is it? If we're going to be now, I knew this would degrade us a little bit, but I didn't think. Yeah, the comments are crystal clear. It's what I told Sean McCann earlier. It's got to be StreamYard because YouTube Studio is saying excellent connection. That means it's getting everything, and all that means is that StreamYard's fucking me. That they're sending out a less than 1080 stellar signal, and their compression, I don't know what they're using and why. We know they have a 720 plan, and I was like, that's garbage. Let's go to the 1080. It's $50 a month I'm paying just for comments, essentially, and to have you degrade my stream to this level. I shan't put up with it. Are you sending a less than to StreamYard? No. I'm telling you, in the preview on StreamYard, it all looks great. It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging. But that's bananas. If your connection is on Wi-Fi. I'm on Twitch too. They're the same quality. Yeah. It was working fine last show. We had no issues. Does Chatterino you're making up names of services. There's nothing called Chatterino. I'm not going to fall for that stuff, okay?
Come on, man.
Can you just drop Twitch and see if it works better with just one? We just did all this, Moody. And then where did that get us? Disconnected from everything and had to recreate a new broadcast. Then that didn't work. Then had to recreate a new broadcast. Thanks for catching up with us, Moody. Oh, I didn't think about all that. You think that my connection to StreamYard has something to do with StreamYard's connection to all the other ingest servers? You're out of your mind. You know better than this. You know how it works. I won't be trolled. You're lucky I'm trying to kill some time while people figure out how to connect over to the new stream. We were rocking and rolling. We had 25 viewers. We're up to like 11 likes over there. Look at me over here now. 0 likes, 13 viewers. I'm sawing through my wrist with a serrated steak knife that I got from Rick's Steaks and Shakes. It might be the ISP. On a few episode backs, everyone looked great, except Jay in Vegas. What did I just say, Sean? Has nothing to do with my connection. You guys have made me not even want to watch Ty tonight. This is how upsetting this has been for me. Fuck. Maybe try dropping YouTube and see if it works better. I swear to God, I'm going to rent a hot air balloon, find out where you live, and camp out over your mom's bed. Anybody I can talk to about getting my main unbanned? I don't even know what that means. Talk to one of our admins. Talk to Moody. He's not busy right now. He has all the time in the world to suggest basic ass shit. Ty is DDoSing streamer. Yeah. Speaking of the guy of the night. God, I can't even use my fucking. How do I'll tell you what. I'm gonna restart this Stream Deck software though, and if that doesn't work, we're really out to sea. That's a good sign. Boom, boom. Okay. Jesus Christ, can anything work? Finally. Let's watch this because I don't have time. This is an old one, July 15th. He's almost up to 200 views on it. So the revenue potential is endless. Ads every 5 minutes. This is what I started saying about 38 hours ago. He loves to put an ad every 5 minutes. Wait till you see it. Go watch it on one of your regular connections, whatever you kids use. I'm looking frantically for stuff because I've set things down and misplaced them in my, how is it 11:12? We haven't started this tonight. I have 2 hours to get through with you people. We've gotten nowhere. Kool-Aid was kind enough to leave me a Jewel pod. And now I can't find it, and I dug out my jewels. I was going to have a nice little nicotine hit. Now I can't find it. Slitting my goddamn wrists. That's what I'm ready to do for you people. MySpace stream time, baby. No. Who is Lee Barber? Do I know that? I know that name. Here we go. Let's jump in. Ty Rivera. What is there to say other than kick it off?
Happy Non-Binary Awareness Week, everybody. You want an alligator?
Everything bothers him.
He's unbothered.
He calls it unbothered, but that's what's cute because everything bothers him.
It's not cute anymore.
I'm a botherina.
What's up, everybody? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world, and welcome to yet another episode. That's right, another episode of Unbothered by Ty Rivera. That's right, it's Unbothered by Ty Rivera. Sorry this episode is coming out on Thursday instead of Wednesday. Apparently, I couldn't be bothered to get unbothered. And currently, my co-host Snoopy Bijou has lied to me again. It doesn't look like she's eating her alligator, but she's also wetting her whistle right now. So that might be what's going on first, and then she might go ahead and eat her alligator. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Who knows? Whimsy's Alligators, the never-to-be sponsor of Unbothered by Ty Rivera, but we still give them a shout-out, and we still put our Amazon affiliates link for Whimsy's Alligators down below in the description box. So if you need anything off of Amazon, or if you just want to check out Whimsy's Alligators, a good, healthy treat for your dogs that they'll probably enjoy for about 7 years, and then just stop eating them like Bijou has, apparently. She's sniffing at it, but she's not biting.
Fascinating stuff.
Or figuratively, not biting. Now she's just looking at me like, what's all the pressure about? Sorry.
Yeah, I can't find this jewel. I'm really crashing about it.
Anyway, so Carlos
Alex, I need you to bring me a jewel.
I want to be very clear when I talk about Carlos Homemade Salsa. The thing you guys have to know about my relationship with Carlos Homemade Salsa is
I'll take you to eat at Denny's if I can get a jewel.
And they became a sponsor after. So I don't shout them out.
Fuck.
Because
I had
of the sponsorship. They sponsor me because I was such a big fan and am such a big fan. Right now, I have been being...
I love this. First of all, I'm sorry, but I'm frantically looking for something, but I don't want to miss these details. All his podcast is, mark my words now, because we're going to get into, 9-10 hours of it today? All his podcast is now is answering accusations by me. This is insane. This is bananas behavior. He's literally like, and for people who wonder how the sponsorship came about, it's not about, it's like, look, I've never bought a ticket to a Ty Rivera comedy show, and I've never had a dollop of Carla's salsa. But do you know how I know his comedy's not good and his podcast isn't good? Because it has a salsa sponsor. You know how I know her salsa isn't good? Because it sponsors Ty Rivera's podcast. It's just like one of those cannot be true if the other one is false. So like if you're a salsa sponsoring the hate speech that Ty Rivera spews on a regular basis, then I don't really have time to believe that your salsa is good. And on the same token, if your sponsor is a local salsa bottled by a woman in her kitchen in a residential home, whew, how many jars could you be moving? How many jars could you possibly be moving? Because when I see it posted about Carla's salsa, it's like, we have 5 jars ready. Who's in? And if you're pumping out 5 jars of product at a time, and I know this is blasphemous while Butch is on stage at this very moment, probably, but salsa, come on, get real. This can't be a real thing that's happening in our world, and we're just gonna. I have to find this jewel pot. I was really stoked to have a little nicotine. And now no jewel, come on.
Pretty decent about my diet, but I also haven't been super extreme about it just because there's no reason for me to be right now. I am ticking along at a good pace, and there are certain projects that I'm still working on with my body. For a minute there, remember I was working on getting more booty. I've been really working on that. But it's still not exactly where I want it to be because I took a break and then I stopped doing what I was doing. And then I saw something else when I was on Instagram. And
I'll provide more commentary. I've just got to find this jewel putt.
I would like to have that. So luckily for me, they were talking about it that day, like how it is they got their butt that way. So after I do my experiment, right now we're about 3 months into it. I'll let you guys see like a before and after. I'll wear a Speedo or something like that.
Nobody cares.
Something cute, but not trying to be flirty. I just really want for this experiment to work out and then to be able to tell people, like, this is what you can do. And yes, it will be a lot of work.
Let me tell you something real quick. Jay Hollingsworth is texting me right now. Hey, what's up with the connection? You streaming? Hey. Yes. Yes, I am. Figure it out. Hey, you stream? Yeah. Let me just stop everything, mid-jewel hunt. And explain it to you. Go do gigs, all you comics. Go do gigs. Get out of here. I had a nice, quiet podcast with non-comic fans, and now all these comics are hanging around. How does the internet work? I'm new.
It's not sex. Don't think that. I wish. If that were it, I would have all the booty I needed. But I also might not be doing it right.
This is terrifying stuff.
But also, I've been slowing down on that a bit, too. I haven't really been worried about hooking up that much.
Oh, good.
It's not like it hasn't happened, but it's definitely slowed down quite a bit, which everything in my life has slowed down quite a bit.
Your career, your friendships.
I'm very thankful for that because I was,
this is literally another lie. Remember, don't forget, this guy just got done saying, my life's been very, very busy lately. I don't have time for anything. I'm very, very busy. Now he's like, my life has slowed down so much lately. So much lately. Jesus Christ. Please get Carla to sponsor your, how much to wrap the front of Kool-Aid's Cuttle Shuttle? I don't know where, it was just the very end of a jewel pod. It was just going to be a nice hit or two. I had been saving it. I finally found my jewels. We had a frantic, something happened, a pre-show. Now Kool-Aid, now big Irish J guy, J Bird. Yeah, my life is so busy. We just went over this on the last show. Now he's like, My life's so slow lately. It's like, Jesus, dude. You couldn't even get a handle on the number of lies this guy tells every day.
Every once in a while. I think everybody does, but I think the difference with me and a lot of people is I actually have the option to completely slow down at different points and not do anything. Where a lot of people are just stuck, they have to constantly be doing something. And then a lot of people suffer from FOMO or fear of missing out. And I'm not really one of those people. I have to tell you that about myself. I really don't concern myself with what a lot of people are doing. I'm not a person that feels like I have to be at the most popular parties. I don't feel like I have to be around the most popular people all the time. When it comes to what I do, I usually end up getting invited to the best stuff, but that's because I'm good at what I do. But I think also when you get invited to everything, you're sort of like, okay, well, I can sit a lot of things out because I'm not really in a position where I have to work on that, you know? And I get that a lot of people aren't in that position either. And I realize that one of the places I've been messing up or had been messing up, because lately I think I'm 100% on track and doing what I need to be doing. So let's be very clear.
Jokes.
But when it comes to
Let's be very clear about that.
couple of months, some of the places that I kind of messed up was I was hanging out with people not realizing that they had different issues going on than anything I deal with. You know, like some of the people that I dealt with since then, other people have come to me and been like, yeah, I hang out with that person and they're a very good person, but they deal with a lot of insecurity. So they basically keep me around. This is the other person talking to me. They basically keep me around because I keep them grounded and I remind them that there's nothing to be that insecure about.
Almost every part of his podcast is like a shady lie. It's like, for instance, here's a conversation that I can't name anybody in or tell you really much about, but I'll vaguely describe in a completely, useless way. It's like, why are you talking about this stuff?
And now when I look back at it, I'm like, was there really a point for me going after these people? Because do these people really matter? And I don't mean that in a negative way, but just really think in your life. Don't even apply this to me, but think in your life. How many people really matter? How many people affect your reality? Because for me,
this is something that like people who are having existential crises go through. He is taking inventory. This is something you do in AA. He's taking inventory. He's going. I've always been a loner, and I'll probably always be a loner. How many people in life are really important anyway? It doesn't really matter. This guy flips and flops so much. You can go back a year ago and listen to him talking about how it's important for him to be out and about and doing things constantly. And now he's like, I'm not one of these people who needs to be constantly doing things. It's like a month ago you set up an ongoing residency. You claimed victory and so much success from the first one. You set up another one, 12 shows or some shit. 3 shows a night for 8 nights. You out of your mind, maniac. None of those manifested, so you're a liar. And, frankly, now you're going, I don't really need to be busy. Meanwhile, you're like, my life's slowed down after you just got done posting. My life's been super hectic and busy. It's like, which is it, man? You're broken. People have tried to tell you, like they've shaken your body and tried to tell you, like, knock it off. This isn't a thing a guy does. And yet you're just like, I'm doing it pretty right. Don't get it twisted. Everything in my life is perfect. And we're all looking at it like, you have toilet paper coming out of your shoe. Why was your shoe off in there?
There's not really a lot that gets into my life or gets into my space or even enters my bubble. It's just kind of me and B.
Oh, God, I want pancakes and a jewel pod.
but those people don't even really get inside my bubble outside of the physical. I don't
Nobody
talk to
wants
them
in your
about
bubble
anything.
where you
We
bury
don't
your
hang out
eggs.
like friends. We don't discuss problems. I don't even feel like I have a lot of problems when it comes down to it.
Oof.
So I think because I was surrounding myself with those people and spending a lot of time talking to, hanging out with, working with those people, it really did start to rub off on me. Like a lot of the stuff that I see the people that I used to hang out with talking about online. Because some people might think I'm talking about like very particular people, but I'm not. I'm talking about in general, the people I was.
Again, it's like if you just said what you were thinking, you wouldn't have to do this. He's always like, people probably think I'm talking about certain people, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about other people. I won't say names. It's like, Jesus Christ. Who is this podcast for? 7 people? I feel like this podcast could save a lot of money if you just got yourself a Lisa Frank notebook and some glitter pens. Jesus. I mean, really, man. Imagine, like, Jay Hollingsworth does 58 podcasts. Not one of them is him sitting alone in a room trying to explain away how he keeps losing friends. The thing about me is people just need to realize, I'm not really concerned with how things are going. Things are going great for me, and I'll be constantly working. I'm not working. I don't get any jobs. Don't worry about me. The thing about me you need to know is I don't need to constantly be working. I've got plenty of friends, and I'm going out and doing all kinds of things. Once out, I'm not getting invited to anything. The thing about me that you need to know is I'm perfectly fine spending time alone. I'm not one of these people who needs to constantly be going out and doing things. It's like, Jesus, dude. You just put on whatever fucking mask you want and lie your way through the world. And by the way, the reason he's gotten away with this shit for so fucking long is no one really cares. We're all, especially in the comedy world, everyone's a narcissist. Everyone's really looking at themselves, staying in their own goddamn lanes. All you need, Matt Markman said to me a year ago, he's just like, holy shit. Like, when you really examine Ty Rivera, wow. This is way before he had a falling out with him. He's like, you've made me where I can't even pretend to like this guy or be his friend. It's like, you can't. You couldn't. If you couldn't be honest with yourself and still be hanging out with Ty Rivera and be like, no, he's actually a really, really talented comic and a great guy. Nothing but good intentions and really, really solid joke writing. That's how people describe Ty Rivera. Guess what? No one describes Ty Rivera. Okay? One guy describes him, and he's all like,
Ty's cool.
and that's about it. Okay? That's about it. Everyone else, when you ask about Ty Rivera, and the reason Ty Rivera is not going out very much anymore, my life has really slowed down. It's getting awkward for him to walk into. You think it's awkward for me to walk into a room? I don't give a shit. Here's what it is. People who know me know I'm cool and nice, and I don't have problems with anybody. Newer people on the scene are probably watching me thinking I'm a fucking asshole. I don't give a shit. Get it right. Figure it out. If you're on team, and most people don't give a shit. Most people just don't care. Like, again, you have your head up your ass, you're in your own world. And that's the correct answer, by the way. Podcasts are gay. Turn it off. But if you're a comic and you're like, Ty Rivera is a really good comic, you're a fucking moron. I'll tell you that to your face. You're out of your mind. We don't need to fight about it. We don't need to argue, but you do need to know I'm going to treat your opinion like you're a Christian. Okay? A cuckoo nutcase who talks to Skymen. Skyman. It's like semen, but you aim it way up. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Was hanging out with when I would be out. It's not like anything personal. This isn't about any one particular person, or it's not even that kind of situation today, because Believe me, my head is in such a different space right now. And I think a lot of times people think I am
People don't think about
talking badly
you.
about people when really there's a point for me where this
He
becomes
thinks
two
people, a
things.
lot of
This
people think
becomes
about me
lessons for
this,
to
and it's like
learn
they don't.
and
They don't.
content for my channel. That's what it comes down to at a certain
Content.
point with me. So where a lot of people think like Ty's mad all the time, it's like, no, I'm really not. There's a lot of stuff, like I say, that I really don't care about in the way that I continue to hold feelings about it. But then I do care about it in the way that I think we are meant to extract the lessons from it. And sometimes you have to understand that if you're a person that's very independent and not really worried about what the crowd is doing, that's going to bother a lot of people because a lot of people don't live that way. A lot of people are constantly worried about, does this person like me? Am I going to get this gig? Is this going to happen? And I, when I was younger, maybe had some of those thoughts. Still not a lot, to tell you the truth, but maybe I had some of those thoughts when I was younger. But
Listen to this.
I've gotten to
I
a point
mean,
in my life where I feel like what's meant to me will come to me, and nobody can take from me what is actually meant for me.
What do I need to
So
understand?
People can say things, people can try
Explain
to
it like I'm
ultimately what's
5.
supposed to happen for me is going to happen for me, and it's not only
This is
because
some weird stuff. Don't
I'm
ever bring this
working to
up.
make it happen, but because when you put a certain energy out into the universe, that's going to come back to you, and no human being can get in the way of the universe. And that's really the way I feel about it, and that's independent of the things I've been reading and watching on YouTube. Like I told you guys, there's different stuff that I've been watching quite a bit, and Sadhguru will always be on the list. You know, if
He's like, I just don't need people's approval or to like me. It is what it is, whatever. It's like, make no mistake about this. This dude, every comic, if you're a comic, there are comics in the chat right now who are under fake names because they want to participate in Dog on Ty, but they can't have Ty seeing their name because he's too fucking fragile. Let this be known. Talk all the shit you want about me. I don't give a shit. Okay? Who's the new comic producer who was talking mad shit, just like Artemio Rios? Posting like screenshots of this show going, look at this fat fuck living in his mom's basement. A what? It's like, okay. Imagine me doing shows screaming how wrong everyone is on the internet. Can you imagine? Ty's whole podcast is literally watching a 58-year-old man come to the realizations that most teenagers came to the realizations of in their tweens. You know? Socialization skills of a college student. And I'm trying to get along with everybody, but sometimes people are difficult and they have different opinions than me. And I think people don't know this about me, but my opinions are very unique. It's like, Jesus Christ. We get it. You're really, really wired differently, man. You think differently than everybody else. You know how I know? Because all your jokes are fucking gay puns that 6-year-olds can come up with. I swear to God, we joked about gay, giggled about gay shit like you. When I was in like middle school, I did jokes like you're doing on stage now, 80 years into comedy or whatever the fuck you are. I've got more texts from Big J Hollingsworth and I'm sure they're gold.
If you guys ever want to check it out, you guys can check out Sync Mind and see kind of the stuff that Sadhguru talks about. But there's one particular thing that I was listening to from him not too long ago where he said that people's words don't matter. What matters is the way that you react to people's words. So basically, you know, people's words only matter as much as you let them matter is the way I took that. And
like, it's like, imagine learning that at age 45 or whatever he is. Imagine being 45 and going, you know, I saw a YouTube video where a guy was like, Words can only affect you as much as you let them. Oh, you mean sticks and stones? It's like, imagine being 49 and going, oh, I can just let that roll off my back. It's like, didn't Taylor Swift have a hit song about this? I mean, Jesus Christ, we're literally watching an adolescent evolve in an old gay man's body. He's swelling up like a corpse does in the sun. His lips are going to pop. They're going to pop. We're going to start a death pool.
About it. It was like 15, 20 minutes of him talking about
for them lips.
And the more I was listening to him, the more I felt like, yeah, that does make total sense, because if I hadn't paid attention to any of these situations that were happening and had just continued to do what I was doing, I would have got caught up arguing with people that really don't matter.
So again, he's texted, I can't even say their names because it'll cause more shit. But you guys know I haven't lied about any of this stuff. You've seen all the fucking evidence. I have no reason to lie about this guy. He's such a goddamn clown. You don't have to. It's like any judge in the country, let's put him in front of him and me in front of him, and you tell me who's going to be straight jacketed up. This guy. As soon as they find one that fits. You can say that about me too, but I don't like mean stuff. He's like the contradiction. I'm telling you, go find a video from a year ago and listen to him. The change. You know, and now he sits at an angle blocking his outlet on the wall when we already saw the photos of the apartment. And you can go back and look at the old shows. Give the show a like, will you? 4 likes. Come on.
You know, I really do think about things in terms of what's actually making me money, what's actually getting me ahead in life, what's actually getting my...
He doesn't. He went to YouTube. Like, this is affecting my bottom line. I'm not shitting you. Somebody do the metrics on his channel. He has no super chat, so take that out. Someone do the metrics on his channel. And I'm telling you, this guy has not made $500 off YouTube in his goddamn life. Ever. I promise you. Go find it. Go find it. He's like, I follow the money. He's like, I'm moving everything over to Facebook. You don't have enough fans to monetize your Facebook page. How are you going to do that? I follow the money. I'm creating a Patreon. Why would I make a Patreon? That's crazy. Liar, liar, liar. Every idea you get, you go and announce to the world like it's finalized, and then you sit down and everyone tells you why it won't work, you can't do it, and it makes no sense. And then you go, yeah, you're right. I guess you're smarter than me. But I already announced it. I'm going to look stupid. Like that time with the residency. Like that time with the Patreon. Announce more things you're going to do, dummy. Find me all the audio of him with the Patreon. I'm going to load it up with content because I'm not going to have a Patreon that's not worth it. It's going to have so much original content. He said it's almost ready. It's going to be open next week. I'm loading it up with so much original content. When you get in there, it's going to be like just shelves of content, like those Progressive commercials with the flow. And then months later, months go by. Remember, he's like, this is the last Unbothered, not on the Patreon. Months go by, more Unbothered's come out free on YouTube. We get one of our NLO people to ask him during a live show, what's up with your Patreon? What does he say? Patreon? Why would I even do a Patreon? I don't even know what I would do on there. It's like, so when you came on and when you told everybody that you were almost ready and you were loading it up with content and it was going to be so loaded with content, you lied. You hadn't made any content. No content. Right? So, I don't know, man. What is your word worth? Can you name one thing you've ever told the truth about? Ever? Everybody's lied, you know. But have you ever told the truth? Something to think. Really, food for thought, guys. Really think about that one.
Body to where I want to be.
Crunch on it.
To be like these are the kinds of things that I truly do concern myself with. Like outside of that, the other stuff that I've talked to you about, yeah, it's annoying, but it really doesn't matter. You know, I've been doing this for a long time as far as stand-up goes, and I really am at the point where I like watching things grow, and I like watching things get better. Like when I talk about Carla's homemade salsa, I swear to God, and this goes out to anybody listening, if you ever hear me say, guys, you know when I talk about salsa, it's like, is this an ad? When I talk about salsa, I do believe in Carla's homemade salsa, and I plug it all the time.
Who doesn't? I believe in I can't believe it's not butter. I don't feel the need to plug it all the time. Statistically, I'm going to say Carla's homemade salsa is probably not going to make it. You know, what with pace and all. I'm not trying to be a dick to anybody. Just because I have beef with Butch Bradley doesn't mean I'm trying to shit all over his girl's business. I think it's great whenever a woman's in the kitchen whipping something up. And you know, when we're having a football game or something, that salsa's going to be great. Again, I got sent a photo of Butch Bradley setting up a table outside of his show after a show. And granted, this is the guy who's been voted funniest comic in Vegas. Okay. A table set up outside of this show. This motherfucker selling jars of salsa and chips. Chips. Chips are an extra $5. Jars of salsa and chips. And then just imagine, I'm telling you, imagine it. The unsold jars and bags of chips clanking in a duffel bag or a backpack on the way back to your car. Or do you leave them in the green room at the show? Don't worry, we'll sell the Verde tomorrow. Chips crunching with every step. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You popping your trunk. You know, eventually a grease stain in the carpet of your trunk from unsold chips. You stop short at a light on Tropicana, all the jars crack. You know, now your Chrysler LeBaron reeks of jalapenos and the Scotch bonnet. I don't know what peppers she uses. It's not a good business model. You dragging sevens of jars of salsa into. It's like, what? How much you guys make tonight? $35? Fuck yes. Worth it. You guys want to go out for a drink? Yeah, I just got to swing by my car and drop off the salsa. Ugh. No. I think it's good.
Because I believe in it, because it's all natural, because it does really add flavor.
How many times can you say I believe in salsa before you realize that doesn't mean anything?
And for me, that is so helpful, and I think it can be so helpful to so many other people. I mean,
I believe in it because it's natural, it's helpful, it's natural, and to me that's so helpful. Well,
the fact that it's A, natural, and B,
why wouldn't you want this guy speaking for your product? He's so eloquent.
It really does add flavor to. If a lot of you
so does ketchup. You know, I don't see you ever here hawking for hunts.
Or doing any kind of diet. I know a lot of people do hot girl summer, hot boy summer, that kind of stuff. And so
nobody does that. Also, what does that mean? Guys, we're selling salsa. I know a lot of you do hot boy summers. So what?
very helpful. But I really do like watching that grow, and I shout it out all the time. And they have gotten quite a bit of customers from me. And
They
I'm
haven't.
pretty busy.
First of all, we all see your YouTube hits. If everyone bought a jar of salsa, she'd be busy for 3 afternoons straight. Actually, I have some crab, but a salsa. It's like, okay. Oh, well, I guess they'll all be quitting comedy soon over in the Bradley household and just be bottling salsa. The video quality is worse than Crazy Joe's. Is the audio quality okay? I know the video quality is bad. Believe me, I'm going to scream at this company tomorrow, and we'll never use them again. You have my word. We'll be back to straight up streams. The next show. Carla's salsa cannot hold a candle to Rick's spicy Mexican ketchup. Ty loves watching Carla's salsa grow. Not butter is so stagnant. What? I like butter. The audio's fine. Great. That's all that matters to me.
For a minute there, I kind of slowed down on the amount that I was shouting them out because I felt like I was kind of flooding
Getting
them,
teased
and
for
at
it.
the same time, I was happy to see that just because I like to watch things grow. Right now, there's a podcast.
We get it.
that I
You're
really like
gay.
called Local Trash. 2 of my friends, one new friend, one guy I've known for a while, Jordan Underwood, is one of the hosts, and then his friend Alex, who I just met.
Get it? Underwood.
On iTunes. I'm sure you can find podcast. You can find it. Spotify is one place that they're really pushing it. But Local Trash, if you guys want to look that up, I really do.
If you guys want to look up your local trash, whatever, Waste Management Republic, whoever you use, shout outs to them. Is this still related to the salsa? Did he just say look up your local trash? I don't know what's happening anymore.
Like the conversations that they have because Jordan is very honest about his situation. He's over 200 days sober, so give it up for Jordan, everybody. But yeah, he's too.
I hate that Ty's trying to learn how to do video editing and editing in sound effects and stuff. Now that was Ty doing that. I would have never hit you with that harsh of a unfaded sound. But yeah, it's so, I don't know whether it's cringe or flattering that every show he really tries to take it up a notch, copying something we do over here. Now he's got sound effects. Last show he tried to do some little visual cues and stuff. We all know recently he got colored lighting and put a sign behind him. It's like, aw, Toy has a podcast. Who's got a podcast? Who's got a podcast? People come over. He has guys come over to like fuck him. And he's in a loft, you know. So he has to scramble to convert his living room from podcast studio back to hope I'm hot enough to fuck lounge, you know, and like his voice is really merging kind of Caitlyn Jenner-ish. So really getting like, and that's fine. It's getting like that kind of a tonality to it.
200 and some days sober, going on a full year. And I've liked Jordan for a while. We've been friends for a while. We didn't always get to hang out because when he wasn't sober, I didn't.
It's like these are like, I'm telling you, everything the guy says isn't a story, isn't something that should be on a show. This isn't news. It's not captivating. It's not fun. It's not interesting. You never name names or like places. Your recall is bad. You don't know how to formulate a joke. It's not good.
to hang out with him. And there were times when we hung out when I thought he was sober, and then it turned out he wasn't.
Oh,
Now,
God,
I
riveting.
know
Who
he's
saw that
sober.
turn
You can
coming?
tell even by the way he talks, the things he talks about, how open he is about what he was doing back then. And for me, as a person that's his
For
friend,
me.
I like it because he really makes sense now.
And the
Because you know what
thing
it's like. If
people
you've ever
need to
hung out
know
with
about
an
me,
addict,
for
you know that a
me,
lot of
the
times they'll tell
thing
you stories
is,
and you're
for
like, wait, what?
me.
This isn't exactly adding up. I don't really know.
Kool-Aid says he
what I'm
tells
supposed to
stories
make of
worse
this
than
story, 'cause I
women
don't
do,
feel
yeah?
like you're telling
For
me the truth
real.
right now. And that was what I would go through with Jordan quite a bit. And Jordan is very charming. He's
The
a
thing
cute
for
boy.
me
I say
is...
boy, but I think he's 31. But yeah, he's very charming. He's a cute boy. He could sell ice to Eskimos.
The thing
Like,
for
Jordan,
me...
I like Jordan a lot, but you know that kind of stuff doesn't work around me.
Who?
I've been around so many hustlers in my life, and now I don't feel like there's any hustle at all going on with Jordan. So
All
I really
hustle.
like
No
watching
cap.
him become the person that he's becoming in his sobriety. So there's that goes on the podcast because he talks about where different feelings.
People
come
who have to
from
be
and
sober are weak.
experiences that he had when he was partying.
I'm sorry.
And it's
You don't know how to
also like
fucking
being
handle
at an
yourself.
NA meeting in a
It's
certain
not,
way.
by the
Like,
way,
an NA meeting
you know,
is
and I'm
great
sorry
because
that people
you've
don't like
been to an
this.
NA or
It's a
AA
very,
meeting.
very contentious
I-
topic. I understand. So I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I come from a family of alcoholics. My mother was an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic. My grandfather was an alcoholic. I come from a big, big family of alcoholics. You're weak. Get a grip on everything about you. You're usually emotional people. Stop it. Knock it off. It's weak. Oh, I can't drink anymore. I used to have a real problem. Grow up. You can't have a drink. Get real. I know it's a real disease, but you did it to yourself. Stop it. Knock it off. Have a drink, pussy. Oh, people are going to get so fucking mad. People get really mad about alcoholism. Hey, I used to beat the fuck out of women. It's weird because just to like fight me on that, you have to like tell me what a giant piece of shit you used to be. Hey, I used to rob liquor stores with ice picks. Go on. You don't know anything, man. You don't know anything. You don't know what it's like to drink so fucking much that the demons in your head take over and you just start punching a guy at a 7-Eleven until he makes more hot dogs for you. You don't know what it's like when they're out of quarter pound bites. You don't even know, man. You've never drank so much that your sweat just literally bled and smelled like pus, like infected, gangrenous pus. You've never drank that much. It's like, no, I haven't. I have self-control. Why don't you try some on? How long you been sober? I quit when I was 19, man. I couldn't even. All right, you might do okay now. I love those people who are like, I quit when I was 17 and haven't looked back. It's like, okay, we're done here. Did roller coasters frighten you when you were 8? Okay. Why does this is mean stuff. Why does Patrick's every angry moment involve food? This is mean, hate speech, and now I'm gonna angry. After this. I used to overthrow Central American regimes when I was blackout. You don't even know. Yeah. Sean says I'm 57 years sober on Tuesday. Yeah. Also, the people counting. You are broken. I hope that's real, man. If you are 57 years sober, woo. The people who've never tried alcohol or drugs are the ones that like, you know what I mean? Patrick is I'm really hungry and want a Juul. Does the cuddle shuttle deliver? Is the back just a mattress and and release forms? That's what I picture the back of Alex's van to be. And now Jay Hollingsworth is driving from some gig listening. Great. Do me a favor. When you reach the Boulder Dam, drive off. It's empty. It'll catch you. You can't, I don't think, actually. They'll stop you. Give a serious response. No, they don't let you drive off, Patrick. That's actually not. They don't allow it.
It's supposed to be anonymous, but I'm saying it. I've been to several meetings. And it wasn't ever because I had a problem with addiction. There was a point where I decided to do a full year of sobriety. And I thought one thing to really help that out would be if I went to meetings so that I had sober friends and so I could see the way that all worked out. And I thought it was very, very beneficial. And I went religiously. You know, I went as if I was an actual addict. But after having been there and seen what being an addict is like, I'm like, I'm not an addict at all. I just am a person that likes to party every once in a while. And now I really don't party at all. You know, I'm on another 90-day being sober, but that's because sometimes I do smoke more weed than I want to smoke, and it's everywhere. And so I've discussed that. But anyway, on Local Trash, the way it works is Alex, who I don't think has a degree in anything, and that's not an insult in any way, because like he's very smart. So if you listen,
you gonna let him talk?
You're not gonna feel it all.
Talk like this about you, Kool-Aid?
But he's very good at psychoanalyzing Jordan, and he does it in a way that's not at all insulting.
I'm looking for a dubstep mixologist.
Roommates. You can
Get
see
at
how
me.
Jordan living with Alex could be a very beneficial situation because Alex
Jay
does
Hollingsworth,
call Jordan on his shit, but he does it in a really fun and funny way, and so I really like the podcast. So I've been shouting them out quite a bit, just like I'm shouting them out here. Local Trash on Spotify or iTunes, check them out. But I really
Lee
do
says, just
like
admit to being an
watching
addict.
that situation because I think it's really good and I want it to grow and I want them to continue to do it. So
It
that's
sounds
the
like a
other reason
straight
that I'll shout
Cartman.
things out a lot when I like them is because I know that the motivation for people doing anything is also they want to see it grow, whether that's for monetary
God,
reasons
can you
or it's
imagine
just
being
because
friends with
it's
this
a
idiot?
passion project or whatever people they usually want it to grow. So if I can give them even a little bit of motivation by helping out and getting a couple more listeners or getting Carla a couple more customers or whatever I do.
If
I'll
I
put
can
a link
sell
for
just
Local
one
Trash,
jar of
and Carla's
salsa,
link is always
this
down
was
below in the
all
description box.
worth
But,
it.
Yeah, so like the thing is, I really like to.
Do you know what it takes
stuff that I
to get
support
the
is
last
gonna
person who
grow,
paid
so
for an ad on the,
I will shout it out. I have a show coming up on August 6th in
no, you don't.
Glendale.
Cancel.
Rose, and maybe I'll put a link for that down below too. But
We know you will. You linkety link.
all the tables, well, I sold out all the VIP tables within like a day or a day and a half.
What
which
is a VIP table at Ty Rivera's show?
sometimes when people like
You get close enough to him that you can see him not think of anything funny to say. What is a VIP table at a Ty Rivera show? Huh? You may have Botox leaked directly onto you. The VIP section. We're talking about a guy whose entire wardrobe is tank tops. Like, you get a free non-alcoholic drink. Yep, that would be a good one. Salsa and chips on the table. What? Ty's consciousness is the equivalent of putting a retard in a round room and telling him to piss in the corner. Another great one. Comes with a USB charger to watch something more entertaining. Yeah. That's the VIP table. You just get the Wi-Fi password and a Netflix login. And a pre-written apology from Ty himself. Where he's just like, I'm so sorry. that tonight's entire show is just cum jokes and gay slang. What's crazy is that you guys didn't notice. I swear to God, not one comic has come to me since this all began and been like, you have it all wrong. Ty's great. That is not true, actually. Lindsay Glazer said Ty's super well respected and a great comic. So, I've never seen Lindsay Glazer. I don't, wish her any ill will, but you're wrong, madame. Like, I'm sorry. If you think Ty is a really great comic, we played an hour of his stuff. Okay, we played an hour of it twice. If you think, and look, I'm not saying you haven't seen him do well. And I'm not saying he doesn't do well all the time. I'm not saying you haven't seen him crush. I'm saying if you respect Ty Rivera, when he goes up on stage, if you hear his jokes and go, oh, wow, that's a really good take on that, you're not a good comic. You're out of your mind. So that's where I'm at. This is a really deranged man. Why would anyone ever feel like anyone needs to hear this? He needs help. Yeah, I agree. His show should be called Hot and Unbothered. Am I right? Fuck. I'm just making it clear before this goes any further that just because you saw Ty do well or you see him do well consistently, there's a difference between that and being a good comic. I'm sorry, there is. Comic audiences are fucking dumb, dude. It's probably why you do well.
Anyway. So I'm happy about that coming up, and I like performing in Phoenix, Glendale, because I can have a lot of fun there. There's people that know
Phoenix, Glendale.
They're very
Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
My style. And I've said it before, but I'm a very, very Arizona guy. So sometimes people think,
Yeah, I mean, you've flunked out of the comedy scene twice there. By the way, Ty, I'm telling you, mark my words right now, and this is going to suck, but I tell you guys this stuff all the time, and I tell you it won't matter that I'm telling you this. He'll still do it because he's that basic and out of options. Mark my words, Ty Rivera will be moving from Las Vegas. The resources have dried up. The favors have been cashed in. The stage time isn't there like it used to be. And when he walks into a room, the number of friendly eyeballs taking a gaze in his direction are few and far between. Mark my words, this guy won't be around for very long. Lee Barber says, I'm in Phoenix. Can you please go to this? And, let us know what the VIP tables are and how bad they smell. Again, and I hate doing this. I hate saying this. But what I find is if you're a hardcore Ty Rivera fan, you're a low information, low education, ethnic woman. That seems to be his real demo. It's just a lot of Mexican housewives going, oh my God, you're hilarious. So, I get it. But if you're I'm telling you right now, if you're driving Ty Rivera to a gig, he doesn't respect you. Like, you are the opener / transportation of the week, and he will burn your bridge. He'll shake your Shit. Fuck.
I'm from different places. Like Hawaii is a common guess. A lot of people, especially that I date, will ask me if I'm from Hawaii.
No one asked
I
you
think
that.
it's just because brown skin and tattoos the way I am. I think that's why people assume I'm from Hawaii. But I'm from Arizona, and if you know,
They just
Arizona
wish you
people,
would go back.
know that I am an Arizona person.
Alan
what's in
Indiana.
Arizona though is this heat right now. Ugh. This heat is so ridiculous. I posted on Twitter today that it's so hot right now that I literally have to give myself a pep talk every time I want to get out of the car. And it's so true. Every time I get ready to get out of the car, I'm like, I spend extra time even when I park in my parking space here at my apartment. I'll just sit there for a while with the air on, just like, I don't want to go out in this heat right now. It is miserably hot right now in Vegas, and that's the same way it is in Phoenix, and I know it's just as hot there right now, except for I think they're dealing with a little more of the monsoon storm.
It's so hot, guys. It's so hot. I saw a cactus just yell, "Ah!" Right, Kool-Aid? A cactus. It just screamed. Oh, we just got a super chat. That's great. Thank you very much. Audiences are fucking stupid. Patrick Melton. Thank you very much for the gift. That means a lot. Alex Hansel says thanks. I love plugging his bits. And that is gay slang. Plugging the bits. Okay, look, we got a lot to get through here.
My friend Cindy said she.
Can we go get something to eat and get a Jewel pod?
Monsoon storms up in Michigan or some kind of storms. I don't know if it's monsoon in Michigan, and I don't know if she said monsoon. But either way, she's dealing with storms, or they were about a week ago. So, you know, that's too bad. Last week's episode.
Who else did you talk to on the phone and have private conversations with that don't pertain to us at all?
I watch every episode, like, because I do the premieres with you guys where I'll watch it on YouTube.
So the show before this, we were like, I stand by this 100%. I'll just say this. I'll give $1,000 to any charity of Ty's choice. Verifiable. If he will meet me on any stage of his choice for a fair stand-up comedy competition. Audience can vote. Anybody can win. It doesn't matter who wins. I will donate $1,000 to a charity of his choice. And by the way, the charity can be his rent or the free Bijou project. Meet me on a stage and I'll give you $1,000. You know, we might just have to book a fake event and hire Ty. I actually get requests to do private events all the time, so I wasn't surprised that you called. Oh, okay. Well, we'd love to see you there. We might have to do that. That might be the only way to do it. Because, you know, none of these guys will do, like, even for a charity thing, they won't do it. It's like, come on. Do you know how many, like, podcast people and comics would buy a ticket to that? Just a roast battle, a Ty and I roast battle. What if we just sell tickets to a roast of Ty Rivera where he's not invited? What about that? And then we vote on the best roast joke of Ty Rivera, and we give away some money or something like that to the comics. That way Ty doesn't get any of the money. There's a big party he's not invited to. He doesn't care. His life is slow. What did he say? Oh, fuck. Doesn't it hurt? Like, all of it? Doesn't it all hurt?
And I'm also going to be putting them on Facebook.
You're
now.
not going to do
I'm gonna
anything.
Go back and put the whole catalog from forever back on my YouTube fan page. But I really want to start paying attention to my YouTube or my Facebook fan page more. And so if you guys get a chance, check me out, facebook.com/ Ty Rivera fan.
Somehow he thinks like that's like insulated. He's like, he just got done saying like, I got where the money is. You're not monetized on Facebook. You don't have enough fans. You can't monetize your Facebook. So what's your reasoning for going on Facebook? He's so all over the place, man. Patreon, Facebook. Well, Tim Dillon taught me. Tim Dillon wouldn't answer a text.
If you guys want to support there, I'm
They don't.
trying to
They
build
don't.
that as well because
I told you.
Facebook isn't.
Beware of all
people
these
hate it
comics
and then
who
much
constantly ask for money. And by the way, I'm not talking about this, where I say, hey, head on over to nobodylikesonions.com/overdose. Join the overdose. This is a product. You support something. I've been doing this show for fucking 17 years. Okay? That's different. These comics ask for Cash App and Venmo like hookers, like broken women. Hey guys, Cash App me, Venmo me. It's like, ugh. Why don't you send me a pair of worn underwear? I'll spill my 6 seed into it and then send you $10. It's gross. You can't make a living doing comedy, so you supplement it by begging? What are you, nobody likes onions? It's weird. It's weird. And you can say whatever you want. I'm telling you right now, I don't promote this show fucking anywhere. I don't buy ads for it. I don't fucking post up about it in groups. I don't post about it on other people's page. When I headline comedy clubs around the world, I don't even bring it up. As I say it out loud, I realize that's not a very good strategy for growing it. Maybe I don't want to grow it. I don't care. Why is this in 480p? Because you only donated $4.99. That's what you get. You get whatever resolution you donate in dollars. So, if you want that sweet 8K, it's fucking broken. We did a whole hour about it at the fucking beginning. This Ty Rivera is sick. He posts every fucking post he makes. He posts a link to his podcast in the footer of it. I'm talking like 20 posts a week. He links to his podcast, and he still struggles to get hits. This is a guy nobody wants to see. People don't know how the comedy world works. They don't understand. Like, when people go to a comedy club, they don't. I'm headlining, Ty's headlining, Darren Carter's headlining. It doesn't fucking matter. They don't know any of us, and have never heard of any of us, unless they've seen us come through before, looked us up before the show. I don't care. Make us laugh. We get back to our lives. That's the deal. Ty thinks like people come out to see him. It's like we've seen it. Somebody you don't like hacked into your phone and sent me screenshots of your fucking Venmo where you sold 14 tickets to all 4 shows of your residency total. 14 tickets. Then you had to beg comics to come down and watch you. And by the way, every comic that was down there watching him, you're a piece of shit. I only saw one person I recognized, Stephen Roberts. And I don't think Stephen Roberts is a piece of shit. I'm kidding. But wow. How dare you go egg on this deluded dummy. Embarrassing. How embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I can't imagine being down there like, no, this is great. This could turn into a real permanent residence. Ty Rivera is actually a really, really good comic. Oh, yeah. We all believe it.
Have to work around the rules of Facebook in different ways. It's not going anywhere, so you might as well just get used to Facebook. And it's another place for me to put things. And if I'm going to record.
Wow. Look what just comes on the screen. As I'm talking about my lack of tech skills, I mess up. This will last for 10 minutes. Sorry. LOL. So now we have 10 minutes of no video. He records this on his phone.
Record these and edit them and do everything that I do in order to make this happen, which it's not a lot, but it kind of is a lot sometimes. And
I don't
so
think this is
if
true.
I'm
I think
gonna
he's
do all
editing
this,
a ton
then
of
I
shit out
feel
right
like
now.
I should get maximum eyes on it. And I feel like the stuff that I'm going to be.
So the reason he's going to Facebook is to get maximum eyes on it. I mean, are we really buying this stuff anymore? The reason I'm restricting all my content to a new platform is because I'd like to get maximum eyes on it. Okay. I guess we're all dumb and just nod to that.
Be talking about coming up is a lot more important and a lot more.
Let me think of
just-
something that sounds good.
Outright, in some ways, educational. And I don't say that in a way like I'm a person who has the most to teach everybody. But as far as learning to live your life in a good way or in a way where you continue to grow, that's something that I definitely have been getting better and better about as the years go by. And every once in a while, I will have a little bit of a relapse. There will be a slip up when it comes to falling back into certain behaviors. But even that, I don't have a problem admitting that, because that's a part of growing, is when you actually admit that, look, I'm falling short in certain ways, then
You're
at
a
least
phony.
you know that you can grow from that.
This
I'm
guy's
one of
a
those
great
people
big
who wants to
phony.
pretend that everything's just going perfectly all the time, and it's just all according to plan, and I'm working everything perfectly. Right now, in the last couple of weeks, have I been? Yes, I really do
You're a
feel that.
phony.
But as I said,
Hey,
in the
this
last
guy's a
couple of
great big
months, have there
phony.
been
You're a
different
big
points where
fat
I
phony.
slipped up, and
You're a big
you know, I can
fat
say
phony.
that
Hey,
there's
you're a great
different
big phony.
factors
You
that
know
have
that?
caused me to do that. Like I mentioned, hanging out with certain people and not. But really, that does come back to me not protecting my own energy and me not being aware of what it is that's going around me. So it still comes down to a me problem and not an anybody else problem. So when I mention the other people, I'm not blaming them, because at the end of the day, I'm an adult and I have control over my own behavior and what it is I let actually get in. And so this is
So he's
all
still harping
like
on
me
this.
learning, and I feel like more people will be able to learn from the lessons.
Again, not only is this guy like sorry, I just took a big hit. Not only is this guy like it's embarrassing that he's 50 years old and he's just learned that you don't have to let things affect you. He's like, so yeah, you can choose to not let things affect you. And I think by me learning this lesson, I'm gonna. So not only is he 50 and learning this shit that he should have learned like 40 years ago, he thinks that he's some sage, prescient guru of insight, where he's going to provide you this path to enlightenment, giving you this shortcut that none of you realize, because you're all dumber than him, so you can't be ahead of him. You have to understand, if he's just now discovering that, wow, you can really choose to not let things get to you. If he's just now discovering this, you guys, it would be another 10 years. So he's going to cut you in on this right now. Listen, he's about to say this. I'm pretty sure this is what he's about to say, that he's going to help so many people with this new realization.
That I'm relearning in some cases or going back over. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, if you're a person that hasn't ever done any of the stuff that I'm talking about, or isn't feeling like, or you're not feeling like you've been getting ahead, or you're not feeling like you can relate to me when it comes to
See, these are things going on in his life, in his head. He's like, I'm not doing well. I'm not getting ahead. I am struggling. People are getting to me, and I need to learn to not let people get to me. He's telling us this is what he's feeling by trying to put it on you. So if you're feeling this way too, like, because he slips up sometimes, he says, too. Yeah. It's really, really crazy. It's really crazy. I don't know what this mental illness is where people like, it's very clear to everybody who's listening to any of this, that he's going through something like mentally, maybe just in the grander scheme of life. People are leaving him, but I also think he's a bad person. I think he's broken. It might not be his fault, but he treats people like shit now. And now that it's coming out, he's really having a reckoning. And you can see him short-circuiting all the time. But there is a mental defect in these type of people where it's like they still feel the need to like preach to you and talk from a pedestal or some, higher than thou place where it's like, honey, you need to come inside. I want to write a book of comebacks to comebacks and funny comments to post on people's stuff in the vein of, like when you see a girl post a picture where she's hot, she knows she's hot. You go under her photo where everybody's sucking her dick, going like, oh my God, beautiful. Just write, get well soon. Get well soon. I swear to God, it'll suck the wind out of her fucking sails for a minute. And B, she'll be so confused. She will comment on she'll come back and be like, what? I'm not sick. What are you talking about? It's so great. It's so great. So my other new one is all the mean comments on YouTube. If I get a mean comment on YouTube from Ty or one of his aunts, I say, can we call somebody's mom to come pick you up? I like that one. I think that's a really good one. That's like when you were a kid and you had to like play in your friend's backyard. Or maybe you stayed after school, you overstayed your welcome. Yeah, should we call somebody's mom to come pick you up? Or do you have a ride? Or how are you getting home? So yeah, just keep them coming. Your ideas for the great little snips on social media. Make it fun. You only live once. Piss somebody off. It's a good time.
Personal growth. I'm fine with that, but I feel like if you watch me, if you listen to me, I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm probably not going to be your guru, and that's not what I'm even going for. But if I can at least help you come up with some,
you got the goo part right.
Look at things in a different way, then I feel like I'll be doing a good service for people. And I don't worry about my podcast being the funniest. Like last week when I did the unboxing.
Again, these are direct responses to things we've called him out for. He lists it as a comedy podcast. He says it's a comedy podcast. The thing is, he's never had to answer for these high crimes. Every one of you just sat back and let it happen. Let him pretend to be a comic. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You say you have a comedy podcast. I need to see your LPMs. Laughs per minute. These are industry terms. Don't upset yourself. You never are funny. It's you whining and complaining about ancient arguments and how people disowned you and how you fucked people over. And then you go into like wild sex stories that no one gives a shit about and make it sound like you have a smelly dick, frankly. Smelly dick. If I had to bet, smelly dick. Big old Botox, smelly ass dick. Weird coloration, purple rings, brown rings. I don't want to get into it. It looks like 4 different fry cooks made onion rings stacked them in a tower, and then put half an apple on top. Okay? But these are just guesses. I haven't really thought about it. The point is, he can't be funny. I'm telling you, he can't do live shows. He can't be funny. We've seen him do a live hour stand-up. It's 15 minutes of crap pun material stretched out into an hour, fluffed up by gay sass. Okay? He can't be funny live. He can't keep thoughts coherent live. I'm high out of my brain, packing another bowl right now as we speak, and I'm talking to you. See, it's in my fucking hand. And you don't see me over here stumbling and fumbling my way through. Little slow, little debilitated. Sure. I'm having a Friday night. Okay? But I sure don't have to edit it. It's not that fucking bad. This guy can't do comedy. And now he's got to address it. You're so fucking self-conscious that you have to address it. He's got to give us an answer to why he doesn't do live shows, why he edits it. Like, fuck off.
What I was going to say was I had a really good time talking to Claire, but the only thing I didn't like was I was laughing too much through it. And I had the lashes on.
Fake laughter.
That was fun and silly, but that's not going to be my regular thing. Obviously, you guys can see. I mean, you guys know most of the time I don't even have the patience to do makeup, so you don't think I'm going to pop on a lash. And Claire had to help me, like, not even help me. Claire did my lashes. The only thing I did was, apparently, because I didn't know this, you have to put mascara on first. Then you put the lash on. Then, you let it sit for a little while. And then you do your eyelash curler to, like, really pinch them together and make sure that they, blend together. And so I did the mascara part by myself.
Did he hear me?
Pinching them with my lash curler. That's all I did. Claire was the one who actually had to put them on my eyes. I tried, but I have shaky hands, and I'm not the best at that anyway. And so it isn't anything that I'll be doing regularly. And it was fun. I mean, like, it was fun. It's fun to be silly.
I have shaky hands. Pill Queen.
I don't know. I joke about, like, none of my guys on Grindr should see me like this. And that is part true because that's a thing for them in certain ways. But for me, I don't have problems with masculine versus feminine. Like, that's not something that I personally
For me, what people need to
maintain my masculinity. I'm masculine in certain ways naturally, and I'm feminine.
No.
So I'm not going to put pressure on myself to present a certain way. And I mentioned non-binary awareness week at the beginning of this episode. I said it on Twitter yesterday, and I'll say it here. Non-binary is the participation trophy of the LGBT community. In a lot of cases, when I see non-binary people,
this is hate speech. Cancel Ty.
That they want to be
Cancel
part of the community, or it's displaced Latinos that are trying to rebrand me as Latinx. And nobody better get mad at me.
Lash Lessons with Ty just got picked up by Netflix. Man, they'll buy anything. I thought it was Lil Cutie.
Identify as Latino. So if nobody's going to respect what it is I want, then I don't owe it to you to respect what it is you want. If you want to say,
listen, now he's tough again. A minute ago he was the victim. Now he's bowing out his chest.
You're telling me that we're all Latinx, I'm going to tell you.
Last week he was crying to YouTube. They're taking my money and my views. Today it's like,
tell me that I should feel differently. It's just not what we're going to do. I've come too far in the game when it comes to, and I spell game G-A-Y-M-E.
Oh, God.
I've come too far in the game to be playing these little semantics with people, little word games, a little bit of Scrabble here and there. Not doing it, ladies and gentlemen. Not doing
I
it.
want
Yes, I respect
some
that you are your own
pancakes,
thing and you have what you want to be, but that
sausage,
doesn't mean I become something different. That's why I understand straight
rye
people when they're like,
toast.
I'm not going to be cisgender. I get it. I don't try to rebrand anybody cisgender. Sometimes I'll use that term, and you've heard me use that term in my
Sister,
daily,
sister,
on my podcast.
never
That's
knew
just
how
because it
much
makes it
I
easier
missed
for
you.
people to hear. But I would never
Climbing
tell
up the
anybody,
family
oh, no,
tree
you're
with
cisgender. Trust me, you're
something
cisgender.
sibling,
I'm not cisgender. And talking to them
sisterosity.
one-on-one in a conversation, I'll definitely call them whatever they want. I had one lady very insistent.
Does anybody
she's a
else,
natural
the more he
woman, that's what
talks,
she
it
wants
starts
to be
getting
referred to
echoey
as.
and
So I was like,
drony?
okay, well, because I was explaining to her a certain situation, and I was like, okay, well, then there's trans women, and then there's natural women like yourself. And I'm not going to argue, just like I'm not going to argue with trans people when it comes to that. But once people start trying to tell me what I am, that's when I will get very like, okay, then this is what you are. Especially when it's something that's ingrained in me as being Latino. I did mention the Facebook fan page. I've been doing the lives on there every once
His
in a while.
Facebook fan page header is
Notice
still
on the
Bobby
lives,
and Crystal.
the
That's how
unbothered
original
goes
this guy is.
backwards, and that's because like it inverts it when I put it in the
So like
editing
whoever
software.
wants to get in on like the
Then it
latest
reads the
Bobby
regular
and Crystal
unbothered.
stuff.
But if you're ever watching it on the live, that means
Banging.
I am doing it live when you see it backwards. And I know I could turn my camera around and probably do it that way, but then I can't see what's going on in the shot, and I want to see.
He
what's going on
doesn't
in the
know
shot,
how to
so I'm not wasting
reverse his
time. Plus, then
camera
I'll
in
also be able to see what other people are saying to me.
software.
So that's something people just have to deal with. And there's a lot of things people just have to deal with certain things because I do everything on my own, and I feel like it's more important to turn out content and do the kind of stuff it is that I'm trying to do right now and get the ball rolling on that, and then the little things I can worry about.
These guys also like are constantly getting the ball rolling. Sorry. God, I sound like Tatella. These guys are constantly getting the ball rolling. They're constantly got something on the horizon. It's always in the works. We're figuring it out. We're getting it together. It's like, don't get me wrong. I tried a new product tonight. It's clearly buggy as shit and fuzzy as garbage, you know? And it's not good enough for this program. It's good enough for the Hollingsworthless program. Sure. If you're the kind of person who has nothing to do on a goddamn Tuesday. But this blurry bullshit, I'll never use it again. I'm canceling it. OBS, bro. There's tutorials. It's not that. You're dumb. Don't troll me. I'll kill you. I'll kill everyone in this goddamn room. By the way, you know, if anybody knows where to buy assault rifles, get at me.
About later. Like for right now, the main thing is for me to put stuff out there. So if the sound's a little off because I haven't figured that out yet, like you know, on my Unbothered, the sound is great.
While he's doing this, there's no video, you know, and his excuse is, look, I do it all myself. I'm only one guy, and to me, the content is king. Doesn't matter how good it looks or sounds. It's like, I'm one guy. I built everything you see on screen. Set up everything that you're hearing and seeing, except for the fucking blurry. Did it just get clearer? Oh no, it's fucked again. You know, but it's like, also like that doesn't even make sense. Like I get it if your show had content. You don't even have content. You meander down different fucking cul-de-sacs of anti-content, I would call it. It's just like random memories of arguments and stories about how you lost friends this week, and then flashbacks to a time you were at a place and treated someone who didn't deserve it like absolute piss. That's your whole show, dude. Every once in a while, you con an open micer in on your show. You constantly go on about how the real comics in this town respect you and like you. It's like, I don't know any real working full-time comic in this town that I've heard defend you in any way. This includes all the ones that I've known since the first time I headlined in this city in 2008. Back when it was just people like Gooch and Brant Tobler and Matt Markman. Way before you fucking came here and loosened up this city. So I've known those guys for like 14 years. And I think it's fucking weird for you to act like you own this goddamn town. Now, again, and I say this all the time, I for sure fucking don't. But I don't act like I'm somebody in this community. You know, I go out, I try to make new friends, I try to be amicable, and, you know, and I pretty much, for the most part, get along with everyone. Everyone seems pretty damn cool. Ryan Barras is kind of a little special snowflake. Everybody you've had a falling out with seems dope. Like, you have a couple open micers you trick into coming over your house. I've watched 19 relationships fail in the past year. People you were pounding your chest, bragging that were your friend a year ago have gone by the wayside. You're frantically texting anybody who hangs out in my chat room. Why are you in Patrick's chat? Why are you over there? Don't get him the hits. How nervous are you? Go watch Ty's channel. Give him the hits. No shit's given. I don't think there's a limited number of hits on any of the platforms. Like, I try to do something that's a little more entertaining and with a little more polish and a little more humor. You know, and foregoing all that, God forbid, a little insight or intelligence. Sprinkled with some marijuana. But I sure don't fucking go, oh, guys, apologize for it looking like shit. But at least it's great. And then not provide something great. Or at least borderline tolerable. This is like,
great, or I think it's great. You can let me know down below if you feel differently, but
you can't, because you'll delete it if it's a bad comment.
Is great to me. But when I do my lives, I just do it through my phone, and so the sound might not always be good as I would want it to be.
When I do my lives,
but it's a live, and I think people understand that. So I'm not really gonna
I do it. He calls live shows lives. Sometimes when I do lives, you know,
myself with that. You know, once I get everything making enough money that it all pays for itself through different streams of income.
Holy shit.
Great. I'll have somebody come in and figure that.
Once I get enough money that it pays for itself. What are your overheads here? You know, I've got hundreds a month to keep this fucking machine going. What are your overheads here? This guy uploads his podcast to SoundCloud, a free platform. He uploads his video podcast to YouTube, a free platform, which he's monetized. He uploads his lives to Facebook, free as far as I fucking know. Are you trying to tell me the purple gelled work light, the white, couldn't even afford a color, light strip, the construction paper / paste required to make your unbothered sign behind your head, and let's throw in even the artwork and the globe and a copy of your CD, which I imagine you still sell at shows because you think people listen to CDs. Okay? That's 6. You have no ongoing costs. There's no audio hosting or video hosting. It doesn't pay for itself? I'm sorry. You just initiated a legal process against me saying I was stealing your money. Aside from Glade plug-in cartridges, I don't know what your investment entails. As soon as this pays for itself, What isn't it paying for? Whimsy's alligators? You have a fucking referral link. You want everybody's money. Click your Amazon tracker. You're out of your mind. When are you going to get it? 100 people watch your videos. 100 people. Some of them think they're so fucking ridiculous. They watch them twice. You put an ad every 5 minutes like a guy who has no idea what he's doing. Okay? When we put ads on this show every 30 minutes, I think that's fair. One ad, you could skip it after 5 seconds. Okay? And I know what I make on this. How sad of a little man are you? Your Facebook isn't monetized. This isn't going well. 2-month-old shows, 3-month-old shows. Not kidding you. Go back and look at his videos. Year-old shows struggling to hit 100 views, 200 views. I'm not making it up. I'm not even coming at it from some high horse, you know. I'm coming at it from a guy who had 150 views on YouTube videos on his podcast channel until last year. Started working on it a little bit. We've more than doubled that on average. Okay. Started monetizing it. Super chats. Made over $800 on a show recently. Okay. That's how you do it. You don't go, if you guys would just pay for the show, you know, then I'd care about it. No. You edit your show. You fucking put in time. You get to come in afterwards with sound effects and video effects. I have to do it all in real time. Okay? You get to fucking stay up late, tape a show while you're fucking pilling out of your head or whatever. You say you don't. Other people say you do. You know, you run it through your Windows Movie Maker, render that shit.
6 months later.
We're all sitting around listening to you mumble through an edited piece of garbage. Meanwhile, I'm throwing in sound effects, dropping them live on a dime. You got to be able to do this. You got to be agile. Count down to when he tries to do this, guys. By the way, imagine his brain trying to juggle all this stuff. He can't do it. He can't do it. He can't do it live. He's not good. As soon as this pays for itself, holy shit. If you can't cover YouTube fees, we're in trouble.
That out for me, or maybe I'll even hire a technician to do that stuff while we're on the fly. I know.
Oh, God.
Like everything that I've been doing so far has been growing. And I hear sometimes people say negative things about me or what it is I'm doing. But I always notice that's the people that are doing the least. You know, if you're paying attention to my content and you're having negative stuff to say about it, I don't mind that because, one, I appreciate the view, and two, I don't have anything to do with how you spend your time, and
I don't care. My jokes don't go over. I don't care.
Sorry about that. I hate when I do that. I ran out of memory on my phone because I didn't record the last episode, and I got a bunch of stuff on my phone that
I ran out of memory on my phone.
Smoke weed every day.
He records this on his phone. He ran out of memory. Your podcast suffers if he got too many dick pics last night. This is not a... So again, there's no camera equipment. There's no cables. He bought a couple lights off Amazon, and now he's like, I can't wait for this to pay for itself. This is a guy who thinks you bury eggs on Easter, okay?
I got to get rid of. But what I was saying is I don't watch anything I don't like. I don't pay attention to anything I don't like. So for me, when people have negative things to say about my podcast or anything that I'm doing, I always feel like, well, then don't watch. Like, because I'll block you quickly. The other day, I had somebody try to troll me that I used to actually be friends with. And I blocked them on every other platform because they were trying to troll me for a long time. And it's just not
It's
something that I'm
fun.
down with. When it comes to people just trying to troll, I guess for the sake of it, I don't even know what these people are trying to do half the time because I'm just like, I don't know why you want
Right,
my
because you
approval
think
so bad.
YouTube costs
I don't
money.
know why you want me to actually pay attention to you, but I'm really only going to give you that much. And every once in a while, I'll do something to make fun of you or to poke fun at you because I know that the people that actually pay attention to me will like watching that or like seeing that happen. But it's not something that I'm going to spend a lot of time on. I eventually will get tired of you on that particular platform and I'll just block you there too. And I really am an out of sight, out of mind person. Like I
Sword and Scale
mentioned
says
that
the
some
joke
people
pattern
were bringing up to
um
me a while
is a
back, and they were
made up
like,
thing no one ever said to you, and
that's
you
another
respond to it in a
thing
gay,
every once in a while
sassy
I
way.
get into
Here's an
people's
example from
heads and
Ty's
be like,
Twitter.
oh, okay, I guess
Here's
people are saying
a
something
real
and they
quote
hear
from
it,
Ty's
and
Twitter, according to our
sometimes it's
chat.
gay or sometimes
If
funny,
you have
but
anything at all about your worth in your grinder bio,
go say
I'm
something.
gonna
And
keep
if you're funny
scrolling.
about it,
It's
if
like,
you're
better tell
funny,
everybody.
you're like,
Imagine
why would I
thinking that of
care
yourself
about
and be like, I better get the word out.
people think about what it is I'm doing? And then if you're smart, you catch yourself and you're like, okay, let me completely not give any attention to not only these people, but if these people over here that are supposed to be my friends keep coming back to me with this, what I'll do is I'll get rid of them too.
They're
'Cause I don't
not
need
your
anybody. That's like
friends.
one of the biggest things that bothers people about me is I really don't need anybody. I'm not the kind of person that feels like I need a lot of people around me. And I know that makes me atypical for show business because people in show business are usually described as being needy and always wanting to be the center of attention. Hang out with me sometime in real life. You'll see that I am not a person that always wants to be the center of attention. Technically, and I've talked about this on stage before, I'm the kind of person
Big gulp.
that will find a space completely by myself, off in the corner, away from everybody else, because there are points where I've had enough of talking to everybody.
Everything
There's
that guy
times where
just
people
says
are
bullshit.
around me because so many people will surround me sometimes just wanting to talk to me and tell me about this particular gig, and I have this going on with stand-up, and this is going on with my family, and there's so many people that will
People
feed
won't
so
leave
much
him
stuff in
alone.
my
They
head
just keep
sometimes
coming up to
that
him.
I'll be just sitting in public and I'll just want to scream, and I have to stop myself because I know then I really will look like I'm crazy and coming apart. But I really do get like that sometimes because so many people talk about me.
Damn, Dorothy getting
And
riled up.
people talk about, like certain people not liking me, and there's a lot of people that don't like you. There was one time when
High
this
school,
one guy in LA was really trying to paint it like everybody didn't like me, and I'm like, you're never out. I don't see you. I don't see you anywhere. But if you knew the reality of me being at any
Ty and I, like, in the past year and a half, did like 4 shows. I think at the end of 2019, before I went off to do the Australia tour, Ty and I did like 4 shows together at different shows. And like his head is so far up his ass, he's no memory of them. Hilarious 7, Dirty at 12:30. He has no memory, no concept of it. A million other people could tell you about those shows. People I don't even know very fucking well. They would tell you like, oh yeah, Patrick's at those shows. I think Bobby Wayne Stouts, who you have a argument with, would tell you I was at that show. Miss Ed K, she would tell you I was at the show. Chris Clark, who's just a million people. Jocelyn always did those shows. Kool-Aid did those shows. But not cool. Like, I'm telling you, Ty is so dumb. We shook hands and spoke. He's so dumb. Multiple occasions. He's either stupid or a liar. Again, I don't doubt that he's telling the truth when he's like, I don't know this guy at all. I've never met him. He's just dumb. Yeah, he's not attentive. I'm surprised he doesn't get mugged a lot. I didn't see it coming. Oh, okay.
Comedy spot, no matter what point in time it is. Like when you think about even like the last week, or there were times, because that's the other thing people forget. There were times in LA that were worse than it is right now, or it was, a couple of weeks ago, where I really just set everything on fire. Jeff Carasales, who's a very funny comedian. I don't know how much he's doing stand-up right now. Right now he's a successful handyman, is what he really is, and he's like a higher Mexican type, and he always says Mexican. He's from Texas. And that's the way Jeff talks. But Jeff Carasales, Latino, veteran, cool guy.
The
super
thing
cool.
about
But,
this is a good question. I
there
like
was
this.
a point where he referred to me.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you think Ty sees himself in 10 years? I don't know. I'm pretty free flowing, and I have a lot of options because I don't financially really have to worry in the future. And also I'm working on some stuff that I won't tell you about until it's real. I don't just announce that I have a residency. I don't just come out and go, wait till you see my Patreon, load it up with shit that doesn't exist. That doesn't make sense to do. So who knows? Who fucking knows? But it's an open book, and I'm kind of open to some different stuff. Where do you think Ty sees himself in 10 years? I think, honestly, Ty thinks he's yet to pop. And as soon as the right opportunity comes along, they'll realize what a gem they have and swoop him up. The problem is Ty's on the very, very last minute of the roller coaster. He's gone through all the loops. He's gone through all the hoops. The judges have seen what he can do. Patrick, the judge roller coaster? Don't worry about it. This is my story. Like Comedy Central. I think I understand my path with Comedy Central is done. I was lucky to get to do a little bit with them. And it's probably done unless they come out with an old Comedy Seniors show or something like that, God, Ty's gonna steal that now. I'm gonna sing. Ty, I think, on the other hand, is under a delusion that Comedy Central is gonna get back to him. Like, he thinks they're just waiting for the right project. He thought he had like a holding deal. He tells people he had a holding deal in LA. He got run out of the Comedy Store. I got told all this inside info, man. He got run out of LA, just like he got run out of Phoenix twice, and just like he'll get run out of fucking Vegas. Mugged is slang for gay dating right now. Wait, why is your time with Comedy Central done? Because I'm not delusional. I'm 42. I'm not the kind of guy who's like gonna play the game at this age again. Like, I don't really have to or care. So like, that's probably not going to be the path for me. Would I love to do something on a Netflix or an online platform? Sure. It's going to take some work. I'm very out of practice doing the comedy. But I'm not delusional. I think Ty really thinks like, look what I've done so far. The sky's the limit. It's like, honey, it's over. You've not written anything. And when I say that, I don't mean you have no new jokes. I mean, you haven't developed as a comic. Your voice hasn't changed. You are still writing open mic level, gay pun, shocking, promiscuous garbage material. This is the equivalent of Amy Schumer screaming about how her pussy is insane. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh. There needs to be some levels there. And it can't just be, I hold nuts in my mouth. Nobody calls me a squirrel. It's like, ugh. It's like, that's a cute tweet. It's not good live. Not a good look live. You made a fuckload of cash on Bitcoin. I wish, Dad. Comedy Central demo is 18 to 24. Talent spotters are probably around that age and are mostly into woke non-binary crap. Right. I'm out of the demo. When I was there, I was told when I met with Comedy Central executives, they told me their demo is 18 to 24. I was 30 at the time. 31, something like that. And these women, I'm not kidding you, the head of programming, of talent development, these girls were 23 years old. And it's like, that's when it really clicked for me. I was just like, oh, like, fuck. Like, these girls that are getting to, like, where I can't even fuck them anymore because they're too young and dumb now that I'm 30. Like, I can't. Yeah, they're just, they're just, you know? It's like, what does a 23-year-old girl know about comedy? Like, what the fuck? She's just gotten out of college, you know, with like an English degree, an education degree, maybe a communications degree. It's like, okay. Now you're an executive in Comedy Central picking out programming. And by the way, it's all just cocktails and parties and flying around to shows and events and festivals. So it's great. It's just now 23-year-olds are picking what's on Comedy Central. So, you know, when it works out, it works out. When it doesn't, it doesn't. You get a lot of stuff that's great. You get a lot of stuff that's garbage. And you sure aren't going to get 50-year-old stand-up. Unless it's some sort of theme, you know? Here are the comics of yesterqueer. And then maybe he'll have a shot. But I don't think they're developing that. And I think he's just delusional about where he's at in the arc of his career. And I honestly think at 45, and this is what's scary and but also real, I don't think he's ever thought about what he's going to do when he's too old or disabled or just doesn't want to do comedy anymore. I don't think he has any money put away. He lives in a $600 loft in Vegas where this is a cheap place to live, man. You know, he doesn't have a car. It's just like, what is going on? Or he doesn't have a car that's good enough to drive anywhere. Get real, Dad. It's not going well. When you're 50 and you're like, one day, Dad, I'll take care of you. Patrick, you may not have Comedy Central backing them, but I've had Overdose for years and won't cancel it. You can live on $10 a month, right? I can, and you can help too. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. Use code FREEDOM, save 20% at checkout. And of course, your new Overdose subscription will give you a store discount as well. NobodyLikesOnions.com/store. Wait till you see what we got coming. Grab your Rick stuff. It's on the way out.
High school.
I'm sorry, that was an accident.
As or referred to what I was and when I was getting ready to leave LA, you know, I had already announced that I was going to leave because I decided one day I was going to leave, and then 30 days later I was gone, and that's only because I had to give notice to my apartment.
No.
I don't want to.
He got kicked out of the comedy store.
Me to get another apartment when I move, you know. So I'm gonna wrap everything the way that I have to, and so I wrapped everything up the way. But like while I was doing it, there were people that would get on my nerves. Well, if you think I don't care when I'm living in a city, when I'm leaving a city, I really don't care. And so Jeff referring to it as General Something's Mark. Just saying it was like basically me just throwing matches on gasoline.
A $99
like marching. And that's what it was.
A
But,
$99 donation.
It was all happening online.
From
because
Sword
the people that usually
and the
don't like me
Shale.
usually only exist
This guy
online. When
rules.
you go out with me in public, like I
You
said,
should just
no
give me
matter which
Bitcoin.
period in time it is, there's always a lot of people hugging me, a lot of people talking.
I need to
me,
get a
lot of people
QR
shaking
code
my
for the
hand.
screen.
And when
He's
I get
dying.
to
Call
periods
911.
like this, where it seems like people are mad at me, or that's
Ty's gonna
what
want
I'm
part
told
of this
when I'm
money now.
online, then I'll
It
like,
was all
let
my
people come to me.
show.
I will completely.
He sounds
be
like Mitzi Shore.
just like water. Literally, I take whatever form the room around me takes, you know, and I literally, that's what I do. I'm just like, I'm here. If people want to chat with me, be friendly, cool. If people don't, cool on that too. But people will always just come up to me, and it's in a good way. So it's not like they bother me really, but the amount sometimes just that's coming.
Imagine feeling the need to tell people that when you go to places, people come up to you. It's crazy when I go out, people come up to me.
People like to describe me as being a sociopath, which is something that I've heard a lot in the last.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, the funny thing about this sociopath thing is,
I only hurt
people
people
that say that about me.
after we're friends.
Either there are two groups. There's one, the people that don't know me, or two, the people that hung out with me and that I was very empathetic to and very helpful with. So
This is
suddenly,
madness.
Once I don't agree with you, I
This
become a
is
sociopath.
mania.
Which, if you know anything about me, I really am an empath. So
Big
that's
Irish
the
Jay,
reason
are you
that it'll
are
drive
you
me
driving?
crazy sometimes,
Can you
because
bring me an
not
egg
only am I listening
McMuffin?
to people talk and verbally hearing them, but I'm also feeling them at the same time. And sometimes that's a lot of energy being put on me at one time.
Imagine
A lot of
him
different
bitching
kinds of
about
coming in at
energy.
me. Like if you think about it, and you ask anybody that's been around me at, say, Chanclas, which there's also a rumor
He's
going around
banned.
that I got banned from Chanclas. Nothing could be further from the truth.
That's
I have
not
a very
true.
good relationship with.
That is not true. Okay, first of all, the only way he could be lying about this or telling the truth, of course he's lying. He is, I 100% have good info that he is banned from there and not welcome at any of Slammy shows anymore. Big falling out. So look, I don't know if Slammy owns Chanclas or works at Chanclas. He might just be the comedy producer there. So I'm not saying that Ty isn't allowed at the Mexican restaurant that's located inside the soup kitchen that is the Thunderbird Hotel and Casino. Okay? I'm not saying that. So yes, he's allowed at Chanclas, but no, he's not allowed at Slammy shows. They had a big falling out. Ty did all that shit without permission. He tried to use Slammy's equipment and stuff. Oh my God, it was a big thing. And he hasn't been back since. And you remember how hard he said he was going to work on Slammy shows. So he is full of shit here.
The owners of Chanclas, and once me and Jack have a chance to actually chat.
Oh, okay. So I'm fine with the owners of Chanclas, and once I crush things with Slammy, Jack is Slammy. Okay, so he's lying. He's lying. Once things settle down,
Everything will be fine there too.
big gulp. Watch that big gulp. So you know when he's lying. And once I talk to Slammy, everything will be fine too.
Being put on me at one time, and a lot of different kinds of energy coming in at me. Like if you think about it, And you ask anybody that's been around me at, say, Chanclas, which there's also a rumor going around that I got banned from Chanclas.
Not a rumor.
Truth. I have a very good relationship with the owners of Chanclas. And once me and Jack have a chance to actually chat, everything will be fine there too. Because I've never, anybody that I've talked about, I really did feel that way about them in the moment. So when I say that I love certain people, like even when I mentioned Bobby and Crystal, I've been very honest about the fact that me and Bobby and Crystal.
Imagine talking about Bobby and Crystal still. This has been almost 2 years of him mentioning them almost every show. This is not a well man. Okay. And you might be like, Patrick, you've mentioned Ty almost every show. I'm making money off it. I do have to constantly remember there are 2 audiences here. One of people who listen to the podcast, and 2 of local comics who have recently got into the show because of Ty. This isn't for you, comics. I've been doing a podcast for 17 years. Okay? So I respect that you think this is crazy. Fuck off. Maybe it's not for you. If you like sagas of men and deep dive character studies with a group of like-minded creeps from around the globe, you're going to love The Onion. Welcome to our world. Now, I promise you, when Ty's done, we will move on and have other things. But I can't ignore this behavior. Must go. Scrutinized. Okay? So, get off my back, Grandma. And let's go toe to toe. I always have guys with like four YouTube subscribers going like, this is stupid. Why do you care so much? And then you like click over to their account and it's like they've had 4 different sketch troops and none of their videos are in the double digits. And you're like, right, okay, right. I don't know, because people like insane shit. People do. They just do. They like to look at Ty Rivera and go, wow, at least I'm not that guy. If you're a comic, you like looking at Ty and going, whew, maybe I don't even work as much as him. I have a day job, but at least I'm not fucking insane. Okay? I'm lifting up the little goddamn man. Okay? You ever think about that? Maybe you're not a comic at all, okay? Maybe you work at the Lay's potato chip factory just outside of Houston, okay? You put in a hard night shift. You listen to a podcast while you operate a forklift or whatnot, okay? You're listening to the show. You have a giggle every now and then. You get through the night. You get through your work. And then what do you say to yourself? Hey, I'm not an entertainer. I don't get to travel. I don't even have a passport. I make $46K a year. I have 3 kids. My wife and I don't fuck anymore. I haven't had a blowjob since the war. Pick one. But you know what? At least I'm not Ty Rivera. I have a retirement account. I have friends. I barbecue a brisket every other Saturday, weather permitting. I got quite a bit going on. Ty Rivera lives in a wood-paneled loft in one of the worst areas of town. I'm sorry to the other comedians who live there. It's one of the cheaper pieces of real estate. A cursory glance of Yelp reviews mentioned the word cockroach so much it rose to the top of the highlighted comments. Now, I don't necessarily think everybody who lives there is infested with cockroaches, so I don't want to get mail. I think it probably has something to do with the fact that Ty Bijou pisses and shits in a litter box in Ty's house.
Oh no.
Patrick, where
In the world.
did you get this information? You might be saying to yourself. I 100% can tell you it's been told to me. Ty leaves his dog alone so much. This dog has so little attention. He leaves it in his apartment with a litter box, like a little cat. Imagine this poor dog's life. Thank God he gave that other one away to Bobby and Crystal. This is animal abuse. Can we get a hold of the SPCA? I'd like to start, having this. I'd like to send you over some paperwork to fill out. That's another good threat for people, right? Can we have somebody's mom come pick you up? Or I'd like to send you over some paperwork to fill out. I think that's a good stern threat.
Crystal were friends at a point, and I really did like them during that time. I don't like what they've turned into or what they've been putting on display more recently, but it's not that I never liked them. It's not that I always thought they were bad people. Technically, I thought they were very good people, and I think they're doing a good job of raising their kids. I like their kids. I like them. I like them as a family. And I used to tell Bobby that I thought that he should write a sitcom because I thought that they could be like a new school Roseanne. Like he could write something that could be like a new school Roseanne based on his family.
Joke's on you. Roseanne's a new school Roseanne.
You don't want to have your family actually on that and be reality TV, or that's not the way I would feel about that. But to actually create something that was based on his family and the lessons that he would teach.
Like Ty does. Imagine Bobby does that and as a hit sitcom, and Ty's like, I was actually the real creator of that.
Because I would see him talk to his kids. I would see him interact with his kids. And there was one time when, his kids had.
Meanwhile, Ty's selling VIP tables at bowling alleys.
Park, and then
only 3 left, guys, near the nacho cheese machine.
I happened to be there for that chat, and he called them out in the way like, you guys are going to the park to start trouble. You guys are going to the park so that you guys can go handle these kids, aren't you? And he wouldn't let them go to the park, and he did tell them how he thought they should handle it instead. And he, had them all from youngest to oldest all right there. And they had these other kids that Bobby and Crystal were really taking
Imagine
care of,
being someone trying to get information out of Ty. And then there was another person and then another person.
I just feel like in certain ways, sometimes people can't accept that the people around you don't always have to agree 100% with everything you say. And it is sometimes okay for the people around you when they notice that maybe you're going down the wrong track to be like, look, I don't like the way this is going. And if this is the way it's going to go, then I don't feel like we're good friends anymore. I don't think we're.
So when everybody confronted him over this past year about his behavior and his breakdowns and his mania and his attacking and lashing out at people, he just shoved them aside. He's like, well, I guess we can't be friends if you're going to criticize me. I don't need people like that in my warehouse, right?
Good for being friends anymore. And I will sometimes have to correct people like that, but it's only because I really do feel that in my heart of hearts. I really did feel that with that situation that happened with Bobby and Crystal when they.
Oh, he's rehashing it
a hard time
again.
Really
Can you fucking believe this shit?
Leave her alone. And that's what I had said on the post originally that ended up pissing everybody off, was I wasn't willing to let them and it wasn't just Bobby and Crystal, so don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Oh my Lord. How many times can we trick him into doing this?
What I'm saying right now is like, even with them, I didn't hate them. I
God.
didn't secretly dislike them.
Imagine being a person listening to this show or finding it for the first time and being like, what the fuck is this?
Has become something different than what I signed on to be friends with. And maybe they feel that way about me, and I'm fine with that too. You know, I don't really mind. I know that there's people that have opinions because I'm cool with Diaz, which I did the full interview with Diaz. But if you watch the full interview, you see that I hashed it out and I asked Diaz about different things. And so for me, I feel completely comfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's why you guys are
and I
friends,
feel
and Diaz
like
is on
he's
your
a
show
good
all the time.
person, and I feel like anything that we had to talk about, we squashed on that episode. And we
Totally.
didn't have anything to really squash, but you know what I mean? Just like
Totally.
everything had been aired out. And so, you know, I feel that way with Jack too. Like, me and Jack had a little bit of a thing when I was trying to organize everything for my show at the Thunderbird. And that's
Lies.
what it was. But
Lies.
you know, as far as Jack himself, I love Jack. I think he's a really good person. I'm not
Lies.
taking that back. And it's not like we had a thing where it was like he told me not to come down anymore or any of that stuff. Like, you know, that's not the way it's played out for me with Chanclas. Like, really, I gave Chanclas a shout out just not too long ago. And I was really trying to be there.
Oh,
a lot
fuck.
more,
Well, never
but
mind then.
In the last
Gave him a
couple
shout
of
out?
weeks,
Shit.
I've really felt like,
Have you
it's
ever
been
heard a
more
man gulp
important for
more?
me to work on the stuff that I'm working on at home and online. There's a lot going on behind the scenes right now that a lot of people don't know about, and that's not.
At the beginning of the show, he said, it's really been slow. There's nothing going on. Now he's gulping and frantically. There's actually a lot. Listen how frantic he is. Listen to this.
At all a bad thing. It's not at all like a negative thing what's going on behind the scenes. Technically, it's very positive. But I feel like I can spend my time at the open mics and I can rush around to make sure that I get to open mics and that I do these, like, you know, smaller shows and stuff like that. And if somebody's going to pay me, I'll definitely be there. So that's still a thing, you know. But right now, it's like most of the local shows that pay any kind of money, the way that they work is they're on a rotation, because most of the local shows that pay money will have a steady audience. So it's the same people. So unless you're going to come back with a whole new, and like a lot of times when you do the headlining, which you're getting paid for at the local shows, you are doing 30 to 45 minutes. You know, like I did 18 bin and that was like 50 minutes, I think is what I did for them, or maybe I did an hour. And so when you're dealing with locals and people that are a constant audience, if you do 45 minutes to an hour, there's a good chance you're not going to come back in 2 weeks and then do a different 45 minutes to an hour. And 18 bin is
This is
kind of place where you do a
so
lot of crowd work. So-
insane. It's such a lie for the way shit works here. This place is such an incestuous booking city. These places like LA Comedy Club, the same fucking headliners every 3 months. Like, seriously. Constantly. Sometimes more frequently than that. Like 10 guys over and over and over and over again. When you're out, you're out. And he's out. How do I know? Because I'm out. Take it from a guy who was in for almost 10 years. I'm out. Okay? You're out, Ty. All these places, you can do these shows over and over and over and over again. This is the opposite of what he said a year ago. I'm out doing all these shows. You're not out doing these shows. You're not a real comic. If you're not out at these shows, you're not a real comic. Now he's backtracking, right? I don't want to be out at all these shows. It's like, Jesus, man. This dude stands for nothing. How could you ever take him seriously? Ty's speech pattern makes me want to kill myself. Well, that's rude. Don't do that. We don't want anybody doing that.
So it doesn't really make sense that you would like keep going to these spots. So for right now, I just did all of the spots that you can get paid at pretty recently. So I'm not trying to just be out there just to be out there running and doing open mics. It's hot.
You
it's
can't.
miserable.
I know a couple of these really good spots in town. I can't. Well, he's been begging to get on these shows, and I can absolutely say begging to get on shows, and he's never going to get on them. Begging. I'm telling you, I've seen the messages. I can't talk about it. Producers have showed me. It is what it is. I've heard stories about other producers getting messages. This guy begs. This guy yells. Why did you say this? Why were you doing that? He messages people this stuff. A man in his 50s messaging people going, why were you there? Why did you do that? Did you say this? Ugh. How lonely and sad are you? Take your dog for a walk. Litter box.
I've got my workout schedule. I've been doing videos and editing them, and also putting up the
we've
Facebook
seen.
Lives. And I've been promoting my Facebook fan page, and I've been promoting the show that I'm doing in Phoenix. And I keep getting hit up for other stuff. And I mentioned that there's two different record labels that want me to do stuff. And so, I'm dealing with so much of that stuff that I really don't feel like being. I'm
dealing with so much of that stuff. 2 record labels want me to do an album, and I'm dealing with all that. It's like you said that you have no interest in doing it. Sounds like it's done being dealt with. What else do you have going on? People asking me to do stuff. Okay. So dealing with people asking you to do stuff has made it too busy for you to do anything. What? Like he thinks we're retarded.
Out is the smartest place for me to be. So I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like, I'll be at Chanclas tonight when I'm not going to be at Chanclas.
You're not allowed. You're not welcome.
Tonight. Like technically Chanclas is tonight when I'm recording this, and it's about 8 o'clock right now. If I were to go to Chanclas, I would have to rush to finish up my podcast, and then I'd run out to Chanclas, and it just wouldn't make sense for me in that, from that way. Like,
okay, I just want to break out a piece of what we just heard in a grown adult man's podcast. Just what we just heard. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that I'm going to Chanclas. I mean, technically, Chanclas is tonight. Like, as we're recording this, it's 8 o'clock. But for me to go to Chanclas, that would mean that I have to hurry up and finish the podcast and get dressed and drive over there to Chanclas. And for me, that wouldn't make sense in for that way. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are you okay? Do we need to have somebody's mom come to pick you up? That's how you use it. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, oh, is that what would need to happen for you to be at another place? Would you need to leave this place and go to that place? Great story, adult. There's a show across town technically tonight as we tape this. But if I was going to be there, I'd have to finish this up and then go over there. And that just can't for that way. Well, great story. Really, really, really touching stuff. Fuck this guy.
last week or maybe the week before, I had to stop by Chanclas just because, we had to wrap up some business stuff, and I was dealing with
Make sure they got all Ralph's money.
the owners, and then I stopped in, but I stopped in before the show actually started. I think I stopped in around 7 o'clock or something like that, and I dealt with them on the stuff that I had to deal with them on, and then I left. But it's very pleasant for me there, and that
I mean, I want you to again hear this story.
places on 7 o'clock in before owners, and just because last week or maybe the week before, I had to stop by Chanclas just because, we had to wrap up some business stuff, and I was dealing with the owners, and, then I stopped in, but
Last week when I stopped in, then I stopped in to handle business with the owners, and then I stopped in. Go on.
I stopped in before the show actually started. I think I stopped in around 7 o'clock or something
Okay.
like that. and I dealt with them on the stuff that I had to deal with
Like you said before, right?
them on, and then I left. But
Oh. Great story again. Listen to this again.
I did because last week or maybe the week before, I had to stop by Chonkla's just because we had to wrap up some business stuff, and I was dealing with the owners, and then I stopped in, but I stopped in before the show actually started. I think I stopped in around 7 o'clock or something like that, and I dealt with them on the stuff that I had to deal with them on, and then I left. But
Could you say that? Could you say last week or the week before I went to Chonkla's to handle some business? Could you say that in any more of a convoluted, mumbly, roundabout way? Jesus Christ, man. How are you allowed out of the house?
it's very pleasant for me there, and that place is like a second home to me. And
Look, I believe it because it used to be a soup kitchen and a home to you when you were a whore. Literally. His words, not mine. He used to be a prostitute. Some say he still is. He used to live in this hotel because it's also a halfway house, soup kitchen, homeless shelter. They get money from the city for that, or county or something.
once I'm able to be around there again, I will definitely be around there again. But
Once I'm able to be around there again, he's not allowed. He sit there and told you like how he's allowed there as long as the show's not going on. Once I'm able to go there again, when will that be? You're running out of places. No one wants to see you at a show. Send in tapes of Ty.
I feel like I have no points to prove to anybody when it comes
So
to
many
any of this
gulps.
stuff. So when people say this stuff, like, yeah, for right now, I'll address it because, like I say, it's content and it's things to talk about. But the truth of the matter
But he
is,
never really talks about it. He never addresses people. He never says names. He talks about everything without talking about it, and that makes it extremely frustrating and hard to follow. Plus, you couple it with his crippling inability to tell a story, to stay on topic. Fuck, is this hard? How dare you blame me for your low numbers? Jesus Christ, this is abysmal, dude.
I don't feel like I have to like show up and do things in order to prove to people that this is not the truth that's being said about me. For a minute there was a rumor going around that I was banned from LA Comedy Club. Well,
See, look, he does this all the time. You're talking to me. These aren't rumors. These are facts that I'm putting out to everybody. I'm dispelling them all as you're trying to dispel them all. Listen to this. There was a rumor that I was banned from LA Comedy Club. Look at him looking down and gulping his way through this lie.
did guest set for Paulo Gata. Like, that was quite a while back. And
Quite a while back. He didn't know that you were banned. Guess what? No one is going to tell you you're banned. God bless Matt Chavez. He doesn't like confrontation. He never told me I was banned, but I haven't been booked since 2017. I got the picture. Comedy Central isn't calling. No one needed to call me to tell me that. I got the picture. You're not getting booked at LA Comedy Club anymore. It's done. Yeah, you'll probably be allowed to do some guest sets for people. You'll probably be on some produced shows, I imagine, at some point. Doubt it. It's crumbling quick, man. No one has the balls to tell you you're not getting booked there anymore. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I'll wait for your new dates. I'll wait.
And then, just the other night, I was there for Butch Bradley. And so
He showed up for a second and then left. He was so uncomfortable. He was there for less than a fucking song at a strip club.
it's like all of this stuff that people say about me isn't true. And it turns
100%,
out not to be
100%.
true, and people just from seeing me or paying attention to what it is I'm doing can
Show me his dates at LA Comedy Club.
figure that out on their own. So I don't feel like there's
Paulo Gata gave him a guest set a long time ago, he said. So I've proven it. Like, okay. I don't think you know what proven is. What was the joke Trick stole again?
The reason for me to like, oh, let me put up a Facebook story showing that I'm hanging out here right now, or let me put up a Facebook story with this person, or any of that stuff. Like, for me, I just feel like I just live my life, and if people
Totally. It's just a guy living his life. I don't know why you guys want to leave him alone.
want to believe what it is that's being said about me, then feel free to believe that. You're welcome to it. It doesn't change anything in my actual reality. And I think that's where, like I said,
Nothing you guys say changes his actual reality. Meanwhile, everything on this podcast setup, he's added in the lamp, the sign, the pink backsplash lighting, the lighting strips, the changed angle, the sound effects, the trying to add in video effects. Everything he's done has been because we've made fun of him not having that stuff. So things people say don't really matter. Everything you've talked about has been addressing things we've accused you of. He's banned from LA Comedy Club. He's not allowed chocolates. People are saying I'm not allowed chocolates. No, people aren't saying it. I'm saying it, loser. I'm saying it. Do you know why I have to say all this stuff? Everyone else is too embarrassed for you to tell you. So they all tell me all this information. I'm not making it. You think I'm really sitting around making up Ty Rivera stuff? No, I don't have to. It's pouring in. It's pouring in from people you've wronged. From comics who are funnier than you and are sick of sitting on the sidelines while you treat them like shit. Yeah. I love that, man. So keep it up, dummy. We know all your secrets and more are coming out. Ugh, so stupid. I don't even really care what people say about me. So it doesn't really affect my reality one bit.
a lot of people get caught up. Like, a lot of different people think that there's really
Gulp.
some enemy out there that's gonna,
Gulp.
I guess, talk badly enough about them or say stuff enough that it's really gonna end up affecting them, but it really won't. And that's what
I mean, have you ever heard somebody project so hard? I think a lot of people out there think that there's some enemy out there who's going to say something so bad that it's really going to affect them. It's like, you're talking about me, you're talking about you, you're slurring your speech, you're gulping, you're hyperventilating. Are you okay? Calm down. No one's coming for you. No one's outside your loft. We don't care. We're just here to watch you flop. No one's after you. No one even cares if you watch this. You don't have to watch it. We know you can't look away because you're vain as fuck. Believe me, there's people who talk about me. I don't look at it. I really don't care. I'm too involved. I certainly don't do a podcast where I go down a bulleted list of things to address that they've called me out for. That's mania. That's a maniac.
a lot of people should get from watching me and watching the way that I do things, you know, especially the people that maybe do feel a little more on the insecure side or do feel like there's something to worry about. Like, just by watching me, you should be able to know that that's not an actual thing. Like, you don't have to worry about these things. You don't have to worry
He's
about
a guru
what
again,
it is
guys. He's brave.
trying to do on the other side, because evil will never prevail, and that's just what it is, you know. And I don't worry about my reputation in that way, because I just did a podcast, and the reason I bring this up is because I just did a podcast where there was a particular club owner that wanted me to
People, I'll say this. I tweeted today. By the way, it's super trendy for comics. This is woke, dumb comics. tweeting about how billionaires are evil and shit. It's like, I'm telling you, little brainwashed fucks. First of all, who cares? Who cares? The fuck are you doing? By the way, you calling billionaires evil on social media platforms billionaires created is so fucking funny to me. Get your head out of your asshole. Like you're on your fucking break from driving Amazon Flex in your Tesla. Tweeting about how billionaires are assholes. Like, okay. You fucking, by the way, you brave hero. God, what would we have done if you didn't go out on that fucking limb for all of us? You fuck off. You're bitter. You're bitter fucks. You're basic bitch comics. I'm telling you right now, if you see a comic tweeting about evil and billionaires, they're mentally ill. They're broken spirits. They're fallen angels. It's basic bitch shit. Knock it off. You repeating what 9,000 moms around the country have already cackled into the Twitter sphere is not brave and or necessary. Fucking knock it off, male. It's so hard to watch. Fuck. One in particular. Fuck. It's so cringe. Sorry, that was a side tangent. It's just like I'm so sick of people regurgitating super safe ultra left positions on social media. It's like, okay. Many homeless people on the streets tonight, and what are you doing about it? It's like, okay.
Podcast, and his podcast is about the business of stand-up comedy. But a part of the business of stand-up comedy is social media, and I'm a person that's been very high profile on social media within the comedy world. I'm not a Jeffree Star where, you know, the entire world is talking about me all the time, but within the comedy world, a lot of times people are talking about me and the stuff I'm doing online. And so
I mean this with 100% objectivity. I can't, like, have you ever seen, it'd be like me saying that. A lot of times in the comedy community, people are talking about me. He's like, look, I'm not in the public zeitgeist in the big overall big picture, but in the comedy community, a lot of times people are talking about me. It's like, your videos get, I'm serious. The other day his premiere had I mean, they have 2 to 3. It's taken me a year to build. Yeah, we used to have 300 live viewers. We stopped doing regular shows at regular time intervals. It's tough to build that back. 2 to 3. We can all see your numbers. No one in the and by the way, look at people who like your Facebook posts. It's all, again, stupid Mexican women for some reason, like just moms in Texas. And I'm not trying to be racist. Like, that seems to be the demo. They're probably friends of your mom's. That makes sense. And then, like, you have the gall to just be like, people are talking about me in the comedy community. It's like, ugh. No one is aware of you. You work bars and C clubs. Like, on what planet? You're delusional, dude. It'd be like me thinking that. It'd be like Big Irish J thinking that. It'd be like Darren Carter thinking that. It'd be like Eddie Ift thinking that. It'd be like Chris Porter thinking that. And by the way, these are all people with multiple comedy specials on networks. Real ones, not fake ones they made up for their fake podcast. No one's talking about those people either. And they're way more famous than all of us. So, what are you talking about? It's like no one's aware of you. You're not doing anything hot. We're watching out of a character study only. And that's what it is. No one's in the comedy community. I'm kind of always a big deal.
So he wanted to know, and I'll let you guys know when that comes out and which club owner and everything like that. You know, I'll let you guys know everything. It's just right now I'm not trying to give up any secrets because when it comes out, it'll come out. But he was,
you know how it is. Podcasts take weeks, sometimes years to edit.
Talking to me about, you know, the like my reputation. And if I'm at all worried about it not getting me work or people feeling particular ways about it. And in that way, I'm really not.
Are you worried? Are you worried about how people feel about you? In that way, I'm not. So this is a guy who's constantly telling us, he's like, just to quell the rumors, a lot of people think this about me. A lot of people need to know this about me. People need to hear this about me. What people need to understand about me, people don't know this about me. It's like I've never heard someone really try to focus the world on them so much. Everyone he mentions or talks about, it's framed from the sense of they're thinking about me. They're talking about me. They misunderstand something about me. Oh, they're missing this piece of information about me. He thinks we're all just traveling through a world. We're trying to piece together how Thai works. He doesn't understand that we all have our own lives. That we're all just doing our own thing. Not really thinking about him. Again, it's like watching a kid become self-aware and learn basic socialization skills. It's very, very weird stuff.
Because so many people know me at this point in the industry that when people say...
So insane. Like the guy works nowhere. Like when I say nowhere, I'm not like... Do you know what I mean? Like when I was on the East Coast... exclusively just working improvs and funny bones, I never ran into this guy or heard of this guy for like 8 years. Never. No one knows this dude.
Like, you know, that Ty Rivera had a problem with you, or Ty Rivera was mad at you. A lot of times what people will ask back is, well, what did you do to Ty? Because
they don't. 6 Mexican women asked that in your chat, in your comment thread. Comics go, yeah, he fucked me over too.
People know that I'm not hair trigger like that. Like I've been everywhere for a very long time. And when I was living in LA, a lot of that time I was like literally on the scene. Like I'd be hanging out at the Improv.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
Then I would stay at
Stop
the Improv
fucking lying.
You know, at the end of the night, Comedy Store was my big spot, which is ironic because I'm never
telling
regular at the
you,
Comedy Store.
This again. I don't know what years he said he lived in LA. The 5 years I was there, never once ran into this dude. Never once. He was always an Arizona guy. A lot of these guys like claim to be LA guys and they're not LA guys. He definitely was never fucking at the Improv. He definitely was never at the Ice House. When I say never, I don't mean never. I'm finally home and this connection is shit. There's an outage with Cox, but not for Ty. Well, we're probably going to wrap up here in a minute. We got a whole nother one to get through, but we'll save it for a day where everything's working. I don't know why this is bad. I apologize.
In development is as far as I made it in the Comedy Store.
That's not true. He got kicked out of the Comedy Store. This was all a lie. He was never in development at the Comedy Store. Also, that's not a classification. They had paid regulars. They had unpaid regulars. At least back in the day when Mitzi was there. And Tommy.
Store. And then I ended up leaving shortly after that, which some people would say that's a mistake. But for me, it felt like there was time to go. And like, you know, friends and family, I was always doing friends and family for the potluck. And
I
that
need
was
food.
Great. And everybody was super nice to me. And I got treated like a regular. So I didn't really feel like I had anything to prove in that way either. Like, would it have been nice to become a regular at the Comedy Store? Yeah. But also, once you've done enough in the industry, they'll make you a regular anyway. So you don't have to go through that process after you do enough stuff. And yeah, I realize I haven't hit their threshold yet. But I have no doubt by the end of my career, I will be a Comedy Store regular. So it's not something that
Wow.
I concern myself in that way with, but every once in a while I'm like, yeah.
That doesn't mean anything anymore. Have you seen that wall? Have you seen who they put on the Comedy Store recently? On the Comedy Store wall in the past 5 years? It's like, oh, right. This doesn't mean anything. Like, how dare you? How dare you put someone who's been doing comedy under 10 years on that wall? How dare you? It's so cringe, dude.
I probably should have
Oh, yeah. You're right next to Sam Kinison. Why not?
spent more time working on that, but not really, because I got to do so many other things and I got so many other experiences. But the thing
Look at him. He's talking like he's on his deathbed and these are memories. It's not a big deal that I wasn't on the wall. I got to do so much in my life and career. He does know it's over. See, he does know it's over. He's reconciling all this in his head. It's just a tough it's a tough road to go, man.
I was going to say is, at the end of the night, I pretty much always go to the Comedy Store, and I rarely had
telling you,
any kind of problem at the
never
Comedy
there.
Store. Every once in a while, I would shut somebody down, and people knew that, and that's one of the things people liked about me.
He's acting like he was a big swinging dick at the Comedy Store. This is such horseshit. Where's Earl Skakel? What's the fake name he's under? This is such garbage.
But it was very rare. Improv, very rare as well. But, you know, I'm consistently me. So if somebody comes up to me and says some sideways shit, now I will be the kind of person that lets it go. Now I will. But when I was,
He's changed, guys. Again.
when I was younger, or when I was like living in LA, if I had to, I'd shut somebody down. But it wasn't like something that would happen with enough regularity that
I know Alex Ansel goes, wait till he blows up on TikTok and we'll all be wrong. I don't know what that means. Like, every day I watch some Vegas comic brag about their hits on TikTok and then like hurry off to their shift. Like, I seriously, I've seen comics like, I got 7 million views on TikTok today, and they're like in the break room of a Payless shoe source. I was like, okay. None of this shit matters, man.
anybody, because that's the thing with this industry is people will get tired of you if you're always causing problems. But the thing with me is I don't cause
Imagine
problems.
people
I'm
still thinking
quiet,
like
I said.
Conan
People will come to me
in
and then other
2020
people
was a
will
good
witness
credit.
it, and that's where people really mess up.
It is a
because
good credit. I
when-
don't mean it's not like, of course, it's a good credit. I just mean like that shit used to like change your life if you got on that shit. It just doesn't like. It's so funny what comedy clubs think matters to sell tickets. They're just dumb. But God, is this boy lost?
When people come to me with their bullshit and other people witness it,
me.
whether or not the narrative gets spun in a particular way or not, the real story is always there, and there's always people that are willing to tell it, and they'll be like, yeah, that wasn't actually Ty starting the problem. Ty was just louder about the fact that it happened. But really, this and this was what actually led to it, and then there's people that'll be like, yeah, I saw it. And
Right.
like, a lot of times even people
Everybody
that don't
sticks
like
up
will
for
step in
me.
and be like, yeah, he's
Usually.
that wasn't him that started that.
People
It was,
know.
like, turned into that. But, you know, that's also part of the fun of the stand-up world, or the way that things work. And that's what I think sometimes people forget. And it's one of the things that got mentioned on the podcast yesterday, not by me, but just that the thing that people like you for, the thing that will make you great in stand-up, will sometimes be the same thing that people see as destructive. And for me, I don't see it as destructive, because the way I see it is I'm just being
For me.
100% of the time. Now, can I learn to dial that back a little bit? Well, I don't really think it's something I have to learn at this point.
I'm
because I
great.
feel like
Everybody else
I've
needs to
already
calibrate
made my
around
point.
me.
So from here on out, you're going to see publicly a completely different version of what it is I do. Like, I can just let things slide. I can just walk away from people. I can just let people have that particular space. And that's something else I learned from listening to Sad Guru.
Again, I mean, this guy listened to a YouTube video at age 45, and that YouTube video said, hey man, you can choose as an adult to not let things hurt or affect you negatively. He learned this at 45. And he's telling it to you like it's new hot information. Like it's a new trick. So you're going to be seeing a new me. It's like at 45? Are we? I'm pretty sure with the amount of Botox you get, we see a new you every 7 to 14 days. We're not going to see a new you. You're broken as fuck. Thanks for the donation, Jay. He'll stop sitting in the front row of my performance to try some dumb shit. Okay. Right. Yeah, this guy is so full of shit. He's moving on. He's zen now. He's your friend. Garbage. Hooey. You'll be seeing a new me. Imagine at 45 being like, you'll be seeing a new me publicly from now on. By the way, also saying publicly, that's creepy. I'll be faking it out there in the world, guys. Great. Great. No, you seem stable, dude.
And some of the stuff that I've been listening to is that, like, sometimes you'll think that you're standing your ground, so to speak, by staying in a particular situation, but really it's not a show of strength. It's more of a show of weakness, because you're standing your ground for what reason? If it's going to affect your happiness, if it's going to affect, like, you know, your mental well-being, then are you really winning anything by saying, I'm going to stand my ground on this? Or would it be better for you, for me in this case, to just walk away and say, okay, you can have that space?
Do you guys hear all the gulps? And then just say, okay, you can have that space. It's like, I'm worried about it. Like he's gulping like a crazed maniac. Are you all right? And then it's fine for me to just walk away from that. And I can handle, just because when it really...
I'm going to go over here, and I don't have to say anything catty to you, and I don't have to get into it with you, and I don't have to argue with you. I can just walk away from the situation.
Again, imagine telling other adults this. Imagine just hanging out with okay, take yourself out of this situation and everything else. And you're just at you're meeting with some other friends of yours. Imagine just bringing this up casually in conversation. Oh my God, the other day I heard about this great technique. You don't have to get mad and react when other people say things to you. Do you guys know about this? Would that ever be a conversation that you had with any other adult or brought up on a podcast? Imagine the pre-screening for your Letterman appearance. Okay, and what do you want to talk about with Dave? I've been actually watching a lot of this YouTube guy who taught me this great technique for like not letting things affect you that don't have anything to do with you. Great. That sounds insane. This must be a hot tip. When did you learn this? When you were 4 or 5? Kindergarten? Sticks and stones? Did you learn a rhyme or anything? No. I uncovered it just the other day as an adult dealing with the internet. Oh my God, I figured it out. You can just choose gulp to not let gulp everything get to you. Gulp. Oh my God. This is really happening. Fuck.
Situation altogether and find myself in a better space for myself mentally and possibly geographically at that point. Because, and I've done enough of that in my life too. It's not like that's completely a new thing, but just being able to
Why do you keep bringing it up then? You bring it up like it's a new thing.
express that or exercise that to a master level is what I want to start doing from here on out. I don't want to be worried about little things that don't matter, and I don't want to be getting into it with people that don't matter. And again, like I said, it's just an expression. It's not meant as an insult to anybody. It's just most people truly don't matter. So that would be what I say to you guys, and that would be the message for this entire episode. I would say is don't let people that don't matter bother you. Don't let situations that don't matter get in your way. Just keep doing it as... See, I had to mess up. I was ramping up to make my big dismount.
Maybe if you didn't inflate your lips like a slip and slide.
Love it.
Jesus Christ, dude. How can you not see it? I mean, I'm telling you, when this guy, 10 years from now, what a sad little crumpled puppet this man's going to be.
Not that there's a fucking line. I did write some things down, but I went over all of them. Like, they're not, I don't write actual, like, stuff for myself. It's just.
You told YouTube that you write this material. You told YouTube that.
Some words that I wrote down to trigger me and remember, like whimsies, Carla, local trash, heat, insecurity, Facebook fan page. So that's the kind of stuff. But
that was his notes. I mean, most of it was about Bobby and Crystal and him trying not to cry. That's crazy. Those were his notes. Heat. Facebook fan page. Carla's salsa. It's like, oh my God, let me get a pen.
But I'm not, there's no actual lines for me to flub. But I did flub that line because what I was going to say is, I don't remember what I was going to say, you guys.
Wow.
I was just going to say, don't let people that don't matter get in your way, and don't let situations that don't matter like occupy space in your brain. And whatever you do, stay unbothered.
Oh, and then he puts his Venmo and his Cash App up. Classic. Wow, guys, it's 2 a.m. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to take my dog to the dog park. So that's 3 hours from now. I'm gonna get some sleep. We have another Thai show to go over with you guys. We'll do that this weekend at some point. I'll get it scheduled. We'll get off this StreamYard bullshit, which will fix the quality issues. Apologies again. And we'll try to get it all fixed. This is just something that cheap podcasts use, like the Hollings program. And we're not going to stoop to that over here at the Onions, okay? So thank you very much. You've all been rich in gifts and majesty.
What does that mean?
And we'll probably be doing like a lot of giveaways for stuff. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being a part of it.